The infamous. Yeah. House of Consciousness. Salute the architect, Brother sa.neter. If knowledge got a home, you know where it's at. Let's go! Let's go.
King of consciousness.
Put respect on the name, built the platform for the culture.
Change the whole game.
Different views, different paths.
Everybody got a lane.
When it's time to build the people,
sa.neter leads the way. King of consciousness.
we appreciate the work, gave a voice to the unheard.
Put the teachings first.
From the elders to the youth,
Helping all of us learn.
House of Consciousness forever.
Watch the wisdom return.
Before the algorithms, before the trends and hype, he was putting scholars on and bringing truth to light. Opened up the microphone, let the people speak. 7 days a week, dropping jewels for the streets. He gave a host of worldwide fans with diverse minds, from Professor Small to Brother Easy Band. Zion Lex on the screen, bringing knowledge and facts. Brother Reggie in the building, always ready to rap. Bunk West brought scientific concepts with a different perspective, making viewers think deeper, asking critical questions. Pastor Bennett with the scriptures, bringing faith to the table. Captain Taz debating, always willing and able. Nat Paul teaching lessons, giving people direction. Shaka bringing knowledge and aggression. But the Jabari dropping African history, building a stronger connection. The list goes on,
That's a fact.
no exaggeration,
He helped introduce great minds.
to an entire generation.
King of consciousness.
Put respect on the name,
Built the platform for the culture. Changed the whole game.
different views, different paths.
Everybody got a lane.
When it's time to build the people,
sa.neter lead the way. King of consciousness.
we appreciate the work,
Gave a voice to the unheard.
put the teachers first. From the elders to the youth,
Helping all of us learn.
House of Consciousness forever.
Watch the wisdom return.
Some got big followings, some became a star, some were neighborhood legends, some were known from afar, some were elders with wisdom that the youth never knew. Without this platform, many names would have slipped through. He gave space to the Christians, gave space to the Comedics, Hebrew Israelites, atheists and academics, Pan-African voices, revolutionaries too. Different ideologies, but everybody came through. That's the beauty of the mission, that's the reason it survived. You ain't gotta agree to have a seat and go live. Economic liberation, mental freedom in the air, teaching self-determination, putting black power everywhere.
Some came for the debates. Some came for the history. Some came for the culture. Some came for the mystery.
But everybody learned something,
Hey,
everybody got a chance.
hi.
House of Consciousness.
Help the people lead faith.
Yeah, what? Whether conscious or religious, whether skeptic or believer, whether scholar or beginner, whether teacher or achiever, he gave room for the dialogue, room for growth and reflection, room for disagreement without destroying our connection. That's rare today in a world full of division. Everybody wants an echo if you tackle the real mission. So salute the contribution, salute the decades invested, building the greatest archive the community's ever been blessed with. Many channels came later,
Hey,
many platforms took notes.
hey. But the house of consciousness.
Keeps the movement afloat.
King of consciousness.
Put respect on the name,
Built a platform for the culture. Changed the whole game.
different views, different paths.
Everybody got a lane.
When it's time to build the people,
sa.neter lead the way. King of consciousness.
we appreciate the work,
Gave a voice to the unheard.
put the teachers first. From the elders to the youth,
He helped all of us learn.
House of Consciousness forever.
Let the wisdom return.
House of Consciousness, a place where ideas meet, a place where voices grow. Salute, brother, from your brother, the infamous
DMG.
Let's go.
Yeah. Peace and Black Power family. Y'all already know what it is. I got my man, my brother back with me once again. My man D from Brooklyn. Brooklyn native is in the building. What up, D? How you
Peace,
been, brother?
everybody. Peace, peace, peace. I've been on the right side. Just
Yo, how's the business going, man? The last time I seen you, man,
everything is
you
good.
were
Everything is
doing your
good.
thing.
Everything is good. Thank God. Life picked up.
There you go. How's your daughter, man? How's your daughter?
She's good. She just finished her second year of college.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Beautiful.
About to go to year 3. My son is 12 now. You remember? I think last show I was at your house. My son and my daughter was with me. So
Yeah.
yeah.
For those of y'all who don't know who the brother is, he been here for a minute. The time when him and Rob Ball used to go back and forth, they used to get it in all the time. You know?
See, that's the thing, though. See, and that's one of the things I wanted to tackle today is
brother.
like, see, all that, I always called it that African mumbo jumbo. It's garbage, right? So how they used to beat me was they able to regurgitate that garbage. They just good at memorizing garbage. So whereas I wouldn't be able to reference maybe a book at the time, but the good thing is, think about this, it started out on 125th. We talking 10, 15 years ago. And before that, when I couldn't get a voice in, and I was just watching y'all. But I always had my standpoint. And look today, 10, 15 years later, look at all of the people that are saying we are American. Just think about that, Si. So think about the work, where it started at and where it's at right now. Because by next generation, all that African mumbo jumbo is out of here. People need to understand that. It's out of here. By next generation, see, the unfortunate thing is pride and ego, right? So if I've been teaching garbage for 20, 30 years and I've been studying this and I got a whole library at home of garbage, right? I'm not gonna turn around. My pride won't allow me to come before the people and say, you know what, y'all? Due to overwhelming evidence, these people are right. We are American. They're not gonna do that. They will never do that. So they're gonna keep that garbage going. And like I said, pretty soon, by next generation, the generation coming behind, nobody's gonna want to hear that we from Africa stuff because it's garbage. So I just wanted to throw that out there early. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me say this right quick to my moderators, man. Today I went in the back and there were so many people blocked, bro. I trust my moderators to do the right thing. I don't want y'all to block nobody. I said, it's all right if they be disrespectful, block them, lock them down, put them on timeout for 24 hours, see them tomorrow. But don't block nobody. I unblocked at least about a good 50 people, man. And I'm like, damn, I mean, do I got to take the riches from the moderators? Y'all got to learn the respect, though, man. Come on, man. Y'all got the key for a reason. I give you these riches for a reason, but you don't have to block the people because I'm going to tell you something. Just because you might be mad at them, they support the channel. I seen a few people that hit me with cash apps and all that, and y'all blocking these people. And I got an idea of who's doing it, but I keep my ideas to myself, but I'm saying, please don't block the people, man. Put them on timeout for a half hour or something. Let them think about it, So with that, man, I appreciate the work y'all do for me, man. All my moderators, man, good looking out. Appreciate y'all. And without any further ado, yo, D, I want to pass this mic to you. I want to see where you're going because I'm going to let you know. I don't think I'm ever going to accept being an American.
And that's fine.
Even though my grandfather is Washita native.
So listen, let me say this. So I'm gonna just give history and a synopsis. See, the crazy thing is they set a bunch of traps, and I see people saying dumb stuff like I look West African. If people knew about the American colonization, listen to what I'm about to say. Listen to what I'm about to say. So I could go stand on Canal Street next to some Africans, and you will clearly see I'm American. So let's stop that. I look West African. Secondly,
no, sir.
American. Hold on.
No,
let me say what I'm saying. Let me say what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands of American Black people were sent to West Africa by way of the American Colonization Society. So there are Black people there who founded Liberia, helped found Sierra Leone and other countries there. So we're not gonna. 200 years ago, they were sending us there, tens of thousands of black people there. That's why you trace back to Africa now for the people who are brainwashed and thinking they're African. It's fine you say that, but there's something called phenotype. And if I stood next to the Africans on Canal Street who are from West Africa, if you went downtown in Manhattan to Canal Street and I stood next to them, you would clearly see that I'm not African. So y'all can say what y'all want. That's that ignorant, y'all brainwashed. It's fine. And I don't want to call names, but it is what it is, because there's
Nah,
plenty of
ignorant is cool. I don't think that's
yeah,
calling nobody name. You
yeah,
just
no. But yeah, ignorant just means you don't know. And let me say this. I want people to pay attention, especially people who are just getting into consciousness. They're gonna try to brainwash you into thinking you African, right? But pay attention to this. Whenever you meet one of these African mumbo jumbo spitters, right? They know all this history about Africa and all this stuff. Ask them what their great, 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 great grandfather's name is, their great, 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 great grandparents' name is. You could tell me about Tutankhamun and all these Egyptian pharaohs. I was watching one of your shows you sent me yesterday. Like they got all this garbage, but they don't know the actual reality of things is that you are American. You don't have to, and again, y'all don't have to take my account for it. It's plenty of information out there now. It's not just me arguing it. 10, 15 years ago, that was just me. 20 years ago, when I was a kid on 125th watching Sa and what's the old man with the gray hair, Sa? The old man with the used to have the white hair, Dr. Felder, Dr. Felder, and
Dr.
all these,
Felder, he passed
yeah.
away.
Yeah, I know. God bless the dead. I'm saying
Yeah,
when I was out there and I was just a young kid watching y'all do y'all
right,
thing,
right.
I still had the same sentiment,
Mentality, yeah,
right? Same mentality. But then I got older, and you let me get in the ciphers and spit my little stuff,
yeah.
throwing me in the fire with Rob Bourne and all them.
Right,
I still
right,
had the
right.
same mentality, right?
See,
And
this
I
is
can
one of the young brothers I be talking about, Whack 100. I said that to Whack 100. I
yeah,
said,
same.
man, you go 125th, you see young brothers saying, yo, I was watching you when I was growing up. You
Yeah,
know
I
what
was
I'm
a
saying? This
kid.
is
I
one
could
of the
I could
brothers.
come out there. You couldn't just come out there and kick some knowledge or say
Right,
what you
right.
had to play your part. And I just watched and I paid attention, and that's what I
But you
did.
did good with Rob Bourne, though. You was going back
See,
and forth. You did real good, though.
my stuff is common sense, right? My stuff is common sense. Those guys are good at reciting information from books, which is fine. You got to recite sources, but the information is garbage, right? So you got scientists that will tell you that milk does a body good, and then you got scientists that will tell you that milk causes cancer. That's the way information works,
Mm.
right? So, but you got to go with what reality is, and what reality is we are prisoners of war in our own lands. We were shuffled around our own lands. We are American.
So
When
where
it
did
was
we come from, you saying?
we from America. We're from here. We're from these lands.
So
The
we're
the
not
first
from the original land, you were saying?
this is the original land.
America before Africa?
Meaning like we first of all, let me say this. Let me say this, let me say this. To my people who are just getting into consciousness, I want you to know this. We are better than them. If you are saying that we are from Africa, then that means they went and handpicked the cream of the crop out of Africa. Because we, the black man in America, have always been the leaders in the world. You could refer back to what's his name, Mansa Musa brother, Abu Bakr. Did he write about his travels to over here? He went back and then he came over here, never went back. All the we have greatness here. We are the creators on the planet is here. We are the creators on the planet. Everything you use today in the last 200 years, every single invention, for the most part, that has pushed mankind forward was created by the black man here in America.
300
Nobody
years
else.
ago, was there an African American here on these shores, brother?
Yes.
Where at? What they call themselves?
Different, they call themselves different things, different tribes. There's different tribes. All
'Cause-
right, so look, I'm gonna give a quick synopsis, and I want y'all to do y'all research, because again, there's plenty of information out here at this point. I'm not the only one out here saying it. There's
Go
plenty
in.
of
I'm gonna
ways you
go
could
get some
trace.
water. Go in.
Hey, listen, there's plenty of ways you could trace your family back. There's plenty. Here's one way, people. I want y'all to go to familysearch.org. Familysearch.org. And you can trace your peoples back. Any public records you may have, and you'll trace yourself. You tell me where you find the African at. If you can tell me that, then you could tell me something. Until then, you can't tell me anything. You show me where you find the African at. Freefamilysearch.org. And I'm telling y'all, all the people that's just getting into consciousness, just learning who you are, trying to figure out who you are, listen to your grandparents. Your grandmother didn't tell you from Africa. Your grandmother didn't tell you that. Your great grandmother didn't tell you that. They knew where they was from. They knew where they was from. The trick is to remove you from the land. Just like you know the Moors say, and the Moors are part and partial to why you're in this position. I want y'all to know that. Y'all gotta know that. The Moors actually are the reason, kind of like the reason, part of the reason we're in this position. Because they brought them over. They showed the Jews, the European Jews, where they got their shit from. How they was over there ruling with stuff that they got here. From here, they ruled with the knowledge from here. They ruled Europe. So the Moors actually brought the first European, the Pilgrims, right? The Pilgrims, you know, you learned about the Pilgrims. Those are the first European, the Jews to come here. The Pilgrims are the Jews. The Jews came here first. They set up the system, and then in the 18 and 1900s, they started to ship in white people. That's how they got the majority. We live in a majority rule society. You're out there in our brains, white people. It was Jews that was the slave owners. They came here and dominated first. You got to think, use your common sense, y'all. How would France, Belgium, Portugal, all these different countries descend on this country at the same time? What was their tying factor? It was Jews in those countries. They were the financiers. They ran the finances and they controlled, just like they do today. Just like the Jews could make America go to war with Iran, they did that with their respective countries at the same time to run down. They took over, they ousted the Moors, and then the next conquest was these lands. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm saying, Si, you get, you know, you ask the questions. I hit the people, and I want them to do their research. Like anybody could get up here and cite a book. I could, like again, I said, there's a scientist that'll tell you that milk does a body good, and there's scientists that'll say milk causes cancer. It's about the information you take and what's right and what's wrong. And like I said, people,
So let me ask
rabbit.
you,
Go ahead.
are you taking on the title? Which type of Indian are you if you claim an Indian?
That's the thing. It's about what tribe you are. What you trace your family back. I gave people freefamilysearch.org. So one side of my family is one thing, and one side of my family is another thing. All of these different things tie back to the land. Honestly, there's a lot of benefits and you know, as far as regaining land and stuff like that and things like that. You figuring out who your peoples are could lead you back to some of the stuff that you're supposed to have that was taken from your peoples. They was pushed off of lands. We didn't accept reservations and stuff like that. We didn't do a certain stuff. We actually fought to the point where we couldn't fight no more. We fought with blood, sweat, and tears, and to the point where we were just marching and shit. That's what people need to understand. You home. You're home. You're not African. People go to Africa, they gonna show you're not African. What country in Africa are you from? I saw a couple people commenting in the comments side. Ask them what country in Africa they're from. And if all these people, all these teachers really believe they're from Africa, why haven't they moved there?
Because we've been here for like 300 years already, brother.
Nah,
It's kind of difficult. To just go back and,
You know who I respect? I respect somebody like Kwame and Ture.
Kwame. Oh yeah, yeah.
Right. I respect somebody like that really believes he believes he was Africa so much that he moved there. That's what I believe. You know why? Our soul is here. We here. This is where we're from. This is where we're from. If we were from Africa, we would have somewhere to go. There would be a country there saying we lost. If you ask an actual African, you go talk to a real African, not one of these dashiki wearing Americans that think they're African. I'm talking a real African.
Well, how come you don't have
Africa.
no power here? Why you don't got no power here?
We were dominated, sir. We were dominated. We fought. When I say we, I'm talking about your grandparents too. I'm talking about your ancestors too. Our people fought until they couldn't fight no more. We fighters. We're fighters.
Well, we do have a motto over here, and we say "sauce up" or "shut up." If you look in the chat, everybody is like, "Yo, where's his sauce?"
Yeah, I know. We did. Listen. Listen. Let me tell you this. This is not 10 or 15 years ago, sir. It's
Mm-hmm.
so much information out there. I don't gotta do that. I don't gotta, I'm past that point, y'all. I don't have to do that. It's enough. You go in your
So
reels
you
right
just
now.
want people to believe you, brother?
It's not about believing me. It's not about believing me. Like I said, I give information. Like, for instance, just 5 minutes ago, I told people to go to familysearch.org, where you could trace your family's public records back, and you tell me where you find a goddamn African. That's my
You
point.
said familysearch.org?
Familysearch.org is free. You put the name. You could. I recommend y'all start with your grandparents. Start with your mother's father and mother, and your father's mother and father. Start with them, and then every single father, parent, and siblings and everything. If there's public records for them, you tell me where you find a fucking. Oh, excuse me, a
Yeah.
guy. Sorry, you tell me where you find an African at. Y'all tell me where y'all find an African. These people,
Mm.
listen. This is not about feel good stuff. You for you to believe that Europeans went to Africa, they must have picked the cream of the crop. Like they hand selected certain people. You smart. Let's give an aptitude test. Let's give aptitude tests to these people to bring them over here. The for the last 200 years, the inventions that was created by us in comparison to the African, you tell me who made more of a footprint as far as mankind is concerned. It's us. If Africa is so great and they sold all of this stuff, then why are we the cream of the crop? We create everything. Everybody follows us, and it's been like that. It's been like that. No matter what, all of the oppression and attack we deal with, and we still are the creators. The mechanisms we using right now. A lot of y'all watching this on your cell phone. That wouldn't be possible without a Black American, not an African, a Black American. I can't hear you, Si, for some reason. I don't know. I can't hear you.
Let me ask you, brother. Do you think you have any African DNA in you? Look at
Listen,
you, man. Look how you falling back.
listen. I'm gonna explain something to y'all. I want to explain something to y'all. Y'all looking at complexion or whatever y'all looking at. If I go there's something called phenotype. You could clearly look at me and see I'm not African. Y'all gonna say dark skin. I got my hair cut low. I got a full beard, like my beard grow. What are you talking about? You could clearly see that. If I went and stood. Si, you from New York City. If me and you wouldn't stood down in Canal Street, we would stand out like a sore thumb. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying. No, you're
All
not
right.
lying on
All
that.
right. If me and you wouldn't stood down on Canal Street by them Africans, real Africans, you would stand out like a sore thumb. See, black people, a lot of y'all just get, especially the ones on the first level of consciousness, they're gonna be Africa, 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 because you got this full sense of obligation to say you African. It's like somebody from New York saying that Biggie Smalls is the greatest rapper of all time. Somebody from Brooklyn, they're gonna say that because they feel obligation to say that. That's just the way it works. You know what I'm saying? You could say Jay-Z got a better catalog and all this stuff, and he's still gonna argue Biggie is a better rapper. He got a bet he's the greatest of all time. That's just the way it works. So then people on
So
first level,
what do you consider yourself to be, brother?
I'm American.
But what
And let me
American?
say this. Let me say this. So
No,
when
no,
it's
no. What do you consider to be? Not just an American. What are you? Who are you?
I'm American. I said
American
it.
what?
I'm American. I'm American. So what's the first definition of American?
So you are an American.
I'm
Like
American.
some people say I'm a Wolof. When you go
I,
into the tribes that you are, some people go into their tribes as well. I see I got
let-
Sister Freedom in the building. Shout out to Sister Freedom. I
all
know
right.
she won't like the brother because she talks the same stuff all the time. Go
All right.
ahead,
So
brother.
look, Si. So
Yeah.
let's make sure we got this down. Um, all right. So let's talk. And we bring this up, especially to the African mumbo jumbo spitters, right? So the original definition of American, the 1828 definition of American is a noun, right? It's a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races. See, in the 1900s, they labeled us black, and in your brain, instead of looking at your skin and saying that you're a copper, you're one shade of copper. We different various shades of copper. That was before brown, because people don't know when the color brown. Let's look at when the color. All right, hold on. Let's stay on this right now, and I'm gonna look up the color brown when the color brown was official. All right, so America, and now the Native American, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. That's the original definition of American, the English definition. Now let's talk about who actually named certain places. So you had different countries that descended on America at the same time. One of those countries is Spain. Spain named various places. All right. People need to understand this. Spain named various places. So let me give you some examples. You have Costa Rica. If you do English to Spanish to English translation, Costa Rica means rich coast. Puerto Rico. If you do English Spanish to English translation, Puerto Rico means rich port. If you do Alma Rica, ALMA, Rica, that is soul rich. So you go from Spain, you know, America went from the hands. A lot of big, large portions of America went from Spain to the English, right? So there's something that happens when words go from language to language. There's something that happens when words are translated from different language to different language. So you go from Almerica to America because it went from Spain to the English. So you call this country America when the original what they tried to name it was Almerica because you was here. No other reason. Who are the soul people? What soul? Who are the soul people? Who eat soul food? Who are the soul? Who got soul? You. Not no fuck. Not no African. Sorry. you. You the soul people. You eat soul food. So I eat soul food. We eat soul food. We the soul people. Almerica means soul rich. That's what that means. Almerica. That's what that means. I've been telling you that for years, huh? See, it's easy for people to come up here and recite stuff from Babylon and Timbuktu and those garbage. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that's what they want you to believe, that you're from Africa. Because if you look over there and you studying who Tutankhamun is, you don't know who your great grandparents is. And for y'all watching this, y'all know if y'all know your great grandparents' names. Y'all know. You know if you know your history. A lot of y'all don't. A lot of y'all don't. Especially the ones that be in the comments talking about, yeah, he's a traitor, or he look West African. You know why you think that? Because you on the first floor of this consciousness. I've been past the first floor. I've been past the first. You on the first floor. You don't know your great grandparents' name. You can't trace yourself back. You don't know who your people are. So how can you tell me who I am? How can you tell me who I am? I can tell you my great grandparents' name. I can tell you that none of them came off a ship. I can tell you that. You know who came off ships? White people. You know who came off ships? White people came off ships. Y'all don't understand what happened here. We was here chilling. I'm not saying tribes didn't go to war and stuff like that. We was here chilling. We had high society. We had architecture. We had agriculture. We had technologies. So you thinking digital and stuff like that. I'm talking about steam engines and stuff. We created that stuff. You think a slave just came? You think this is stuff that we've been doing? We've been building. We've been doing all this stuff. We've been had music. You think who you think in the world? Think about this, right? They talk about the Indians back in the days, right? Being able to do rain dances and sing and make it rain. If there was anybody on the planet who could sing or dance and make it rain, who would it be? If you had to pick a people, who would it be, Si? That if somebody did have the ability to sing and dance and make it rain, who would it be?
It would have to be us.
Exactly. So like if I could merge, right? You know the crazy thing is the rabbit hole leads this. First of all, we the special people. And I'm not talking about, so let me say this. So the Bible, we read that Bible, you know, in 1611, it was changed. And that was for them. That wasn't for us. That wasn't for us. They all that stuff, all that counselor Nasir and all that stuff. We got our history, right? If you go back in the days and you would talk to your grandparents and stuff like that, you know what they call them books where they have all the pictures of the family and all. You know what they call those, Si?
What?
What they call
What?
those? They
What
call
they?
them the Bibles. They call it the family Bible.
Mm-hmm.
They called it the family Bible. If you go
What
old
was
time, you got
our What was our religion like? What was our religion? Our way of life? Our
man.
theology.
Look, so let me say this, Si. I never, you know me, I never act like I know everything. I never acted like I knew everything. One thing they did was they took us away from a lot of stuff we knew, a lot of stuff we know, and a lot of stuff we just trying to find back. They didn't cover everything up. Just what they did, they didn't cover everything up. But one thing we definitely don't know is what religion we were. I can't tell you how. I can't tell you that. I
Mm-hmm.
can't tell you that. I can't tell you that. I'm not gonna lie and make something up or try to reference a book to no. We had our own ways though. We had
What
our
was our
own
culture?
mores.
What
Our
was our
culture
culture?
was, believe it or not, we lived biblically. Live and let live. Don't steal. We had our own women. Like we lived biblically. Not necessarily from like a Bible standpoint, but we lived like normal universal laws. We wasn't savages. Like, you understand what I'm saying? We wasn't savages. You know, all right, so look, we just touched on it a minute ago. I want to make sure this is clear, right? There are plenty of rabbit holes, right? And the rabbit holes lead us different directions. So right now on this live, there are people watching that are Moors. There are people watching that are African mumbo jumbo dashiki wearing fake Africans. There are people there's every single kind of walk of life on here right now. And when I bomb on y'all, when I say fake Africans, because I want you to know who you really are. Like, you're not African. Like, you're not. No dashiki, no amount of big beads, no amount of books in your house is gonna make you African, right? You know what will make you whole, you knowing who you are, is you actually tracing yourself back. How can you tell me who I am? How can you tell anybody who they are? How can you spit all this garbage about pyramids over there when it's pyramids right here that you don't know about? It's pyramids in Americas. There are more complex pyramids. There are older pyramids. There are all kind of stuff here in America that you don't know about. And one of those things is your family history. A lot of y'all know
You
your
think the
grandmother name.
oldest pyramids is here in America? The oldest one?
I said some of the oldest. Some
Yeah.
of the oldest.
But,
Some of the
but
oldest.
do you think one of the oldest ones found is here in America?
Yeah, South America. Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, and watch this. The most complex pyramid is found in America. The most complex, meaning like, so yeah, they could do the pyramids of Giza line up with the stars and like, all right, all the pyramids do.
If
All
I
the
ask the
pyramids do.
brother to take a DNA test, you know what he gonna say about it. Well, let me ask him
All
anyway,
right.
because the brothers is already asking. Take a DNA test, bro.
Okay, now watch this. Now look, sir. Again, I like, they're gonna be people who got their dashiki tattooed to them, right? So those are the ones who are not gonna hear my response to a DNA
DNA.
test. And I've been saying this for years. Okay, so the reason why when people take DNA tests, black people in America, you take a DNA test, right? None of y'all have something that says you are Nigerian. You are Ghanaian. You are from Ivory Coast. You are from none of y'all have that. Y'all have DNA tests that give you faint genetic markers. 2% here, 3%, 5% here, 4%, 6%. But you know why? Because again, look it up, people. 200 years ago, in the 1800s, they were shipping black people to Africa via the American Colonization Society. So, do y'all think in y'all brains and y'all common sense, or do I need a book to reference for y'all to use your common sense that our people went over there and definitely had sex with people over there and had babies with them and moved around? We didn't just stay in Sierra Leone. We didn't just stay in Liberia. We moved around. You gotta think that. You got to
Mhm.
use your common sense, right, people? All right. So the reason why you have faint genetic markers that trace you back to Africa and nothing solid, none of y'all can show me no solid nothing that says you from here and you from there. None of y'all. Y'all all have DNA tests that show faint genetic markers from different regions, different countries, and the reason being is because our people went over there and they made it with them. That's why. That's why. No other reason. No other reason. And again, if genetically, right? There's certain things that will show physically One of those things is called phenotype. And sa.neter already agreed with me. If he and I went down the Canal Street, sa.neter been around me 100 times. If we went to Canal Street, he and I stood next to the Africans and this better see Africans, and y'all said find Waldo, yeah, everybody would pick us out. Everybody. So for all of y'all with the dashikis tattooed to y'all need to relax and use y'all brain. The first level of consciousness is Africa mumbo jumbo. They're gonna inundate you with that. You're gonna feel like you need to learn about the pyramids over there. You're gonna need to learn about the neters. Imagine if the smart people. What's the dude that did the live yesterday? What's his name?
Sanjetti, brother Sanjetti.
Imagine if smart people like that, people that have the. Imagine if people would have had the ability to retain information like him, used it to actually study our people. Could you imagine that, Si? Imagine if people like Taj Tariq Bey actually studied that, like had the people, the intelligent brothers that actually have the brain capacity to discern right from wrong. Sanjetti, that's his name, right? He was misled. You could tell he probably was under somebody. They used to like to. That's one of the things. What's the line? One of the lines they always use. I studied at the foot of somebody and all this stuff.
Yeah.
You can pass down garbage. You can pass down white people passing down racism is passing down garbage because a lot of it is unfounded in garbage. For instance, we said a minute ago that the white people came in the 18 and 1900s, a majority of them. So what happened was the Jews came in first. They attacked with their armies that they ran and they controlled, just like they could make us, just like they could make America attack Iran. They did the same thing with Belgium, Amsterdam, Britain, Spain, Portugal, France. They did the same thing with these countries. They ran down on America. They beat us. We fought them. If you look up old pictures of the Spanish-Indian War, look up the emblem of America, which was painted in like 16, 1700s, and they would show a depiction of who is emblem of Africa, emblem of America, emblem of Europe, emblem of Asia. Look those up, and you see what you'll see when you type in emblem of America. You see us. Look up Arnoldus Montanus. Look up what Verrazano said about us. We was here. Jews came with their armies. They attacked. They set up the system. The system is one of the things they did, and I said this before. See, there's a garbage that keeps getting passed down that we was labeled as 3/5 of a man. You got to understand, at the time when that happened, we outnumbered them. That's why they called it a compromise. The compromise was 3/5. So we outnumbered them to make it fair and equitable as far as a voting system where there's majority rules. The thing to do was to establish a ratio where it would make it even. So they made us each 3/5 just to be able to. It was for numbers. Right after all in the census was established and all these things, they started shipping in white people from Europe, poor white people. The 1800s, the 1900s, all that Ellis Island stuff was to get the numbers up. Jews was here first. They established a system and they imported white people, the scum of the earth white people, the poor, the desolate, the criminals, the rapists. All of those people, they imported those people from Europe. That's why, and when they got here, they gave them not only home and government concessions, but they also gave them somebody to look down on. They gave them somebody to look down on you. They went from being at the bottom of the totem pole in Europe to having somebody to look down on you. They gave them somebody to look down on. They gave them a uniting factor because these people from all over from Europe, and they gave them a uniting factor. They're white skin and white pride. Now you have pride. You got somebody to look down on. You got somebody to attack. You got somebody lower than you. That's what they did. That's what happened. That got passed down. You got somebody that never had anything to having home. They gave them through the Homestead Act. They gave them land. It was a bunch of stuff that they did to make them comfortable. And when they got comfortable, that's where the white pride and all that comes from looking down on you.
Let me know. Let me know when you're ready for the people to come in and ask your questions.
Yeah, send them. I'm ready.
All right. The first one, my brother Dazali is in the building. let's all be respectful with the brother, whether we agree with him or not. You know, let's ask y'all questions.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go vice versa. Whether I agree with you or not, I'm gonna be respectful.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sar. I'm gonna do it for you out of respect. Peace to you, Sar. And I'll say peace to the brother also. I'm gonna start out with a very simple question. And a lot of times it clears people who I know of as pretendians and Weibos right up out of there. I'm going to ask you this very simple question. You are presenting that Black people were already here, right, brother?
Okay, go.
Brother D. All right. So answer me this. When and how did they get here?
What?
When and how did those Black people who were always here, when and how did they get here?
All right, cop. Yo, Sai, can you take him off the screen? I'm gonna answer this question. Take him off. Take him off, Sai. I'm gonna answer this question. Take him off. I'm gonna answer this question. All right. So, y'all, I want y'all to understand this. Life was everywhere. The reason why they make Africa the cradle of civilization is because the only thing that separates them and Africa is the Mediterranean Sea. They could put themselves in African history, whether you talk about the wars like the war, the Carthage wars and all that stuff. A lot of that had to do with Ottomans and Europeans and all type of stuff that was going on over there. So the reason why they make Africa the cradle of civilization is because they can tie themselves kind of to their history. They can't tie themselves to this history. They can't. They can't tie themselves to nothing over here. That's why the buildings say founded. You ask, how did we get here? How did the Australians get to Australia? How did the Aboriginals of Australia? How did the Black people in South Pacific get there? Everybody left Africa, right? Everybody. See, Si, that's the problem. That's what I'm talking about. They really think that Africa was the only, like the crazy, like everybody left Africa and all this. First of all, let me say this: that Pangea stuff, like people walked out of Africa, everybody. If Pangea, right? If you do the math as far as how the tectonic plates move, the rate they move at, right? The rate the tectonic plates move at, the Pangeria, like people walking across land bridges and stuff like that is garbage because the time it would have took for the planes to get where they at is billions and billions of years. And yes, I believe that people always been here, but I'm saying that theory that people had to walk from Africa to get everywhere is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You got Henrietta Lacks. You got what's the other brother name? Got the oldest DNA in the world, oldest known DNA is an American. Albert, what's his name? Albert, I gotta think of his name. Albert, the oldest DNA in the world was in a black American man. The longest DNA they could find. Mitochondria came out. The oldest DNA came from a black man. Albert Clark, I think his name is. I believe his name. Look it up. It's Albert something. If I'm not wrong, it's Albert Clark. So at the end of the day, for them, let me ask a question. He thought he said something. So he thought he said something. He thought he said something. Black
All
people's
right.
everywhere.
All right. I gotta let him respond now. Is it all right? You gotta hang out. This is the toughest environment.
So I've been here a million times. Ain't the first.
All right, let him respond.
Ain't the first dude.
So I thought I heard you say earlier that the guy used to hang around you up on 45th and he learned
25th.
great.
Yeah, he used to do battles with Rob.
He learned a great deal from you. I would say that I would like to have a conversation with the brother, one on equal terms where me and him can go back and forth.
No. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
I know you not, brother. I know you not.
Because listen,
I know you not.
You're not the first.
I know you not.
You're not the first one I see.
I know you.
Before you was here, before anybody knew you, I don't know who you are. So you probably
I don't know you.
All right. So
I don't know you.
Listen, all right, so this is what I'm about to say. Listen, watch what I say. Watch what I say. 10, 15 years ago, I was on this channel. I don't know.
I don't listen to pseudos,
right,
brother.
so look,
I don't listen to pseudos, brother. You are a flaming pseudo, brother. You believe in Atlantis. You believe people come from damn mermaids, probably. You believe that the earth flat.
Stop, cut him off.
You are a flaming pseudo.
Come on, Si. Let me tell you something. Look, Si. Look. Before he came on the screen, remember I described him before I even seen him. The big B dashiki wearing nigga. You're not gonna be able to get them. He think he know it all. I describe everybody who watching this. I want y'all to know that I described him before I saw him. the big bead, them type of dudes that think they know everything, smell like incense, them dudes that you walk in their house, they got all the oils, they got a bunch, they got all the, yeah, them dudes. That's it. I'm not gonna beat them, and I'm not even talking to them. I'm not trying to convince them. The next generation already see what it is. So when you go on the internet and you scroll through, you see a bunch of black people telling us that know where they from. You see a bunch of black people putting out information about us being from here. The best thing I told y'all so far today, I could go back and forth with these guys. I want to put information out there and it's gonna make sense to y'all or it's not. One of the things I'm putting out there is for y'all to go search yourself. Go to peoplesearch.org. Another thing I want y'all to do. You know how they always bringing up the slave voyages, they always bringing up the slave voyages, the slave voyage.org. They got you could go look up the slave voyages. You know how you know. Listen, if you want to hide something, what they say, if you want to hide something from a
Put it
nigga,
in the book.
put it in the book. Niggas
Let me
don't
let y'all
read.
know. Let me let y'all know. If y'all super chatting something and the comment is disrespectful, I'm not going to post it up. I'm not going to put it up. So just because you super chatting it, don't think I'm going to put it up. If the comment is disrespectful to my guest, to my brother, I'm not putting the comment up, man. So
Yeah, and I'm not see I try see, and that's the thing though, cause how you know me, cause a lot of look, I'm gonna exchange information, but in the real world, y'all, y'all went the disrespect won't happen in person, so we let's keep it respectful. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it respectful, people. Let's keep it
yeah.
respectful,
All
and
right.
ultimately,
Let me bring
uh,
up the next brother. He is a straight up science. He deals with science. That's his thing. He don't deal with nothing else. He loves science, but he will
look.
get into a little. You know who he is. I speak of none other than who is this, brother D? Cut your camera on, bro. Let him see you.
Unc. What's up, Unc? How you doing? How you doing, Unc? I ain't see you in years.
Yeah,
How you doing, big bro? How you feeling?
What's going on, man? You in there having fun with the niggas, boy. Look at you. You know what? I'm gonna let you enjoy your evening information, yo. I just would like to say this to you. You said something that I used to say many years ago. You say, he asked you, you say, well, how did people get to the Americans? You say, man, life popped up all over everywhere. That used to be one of my statements I used to make, no lie. So what I challenge you to do is to recognize that origin of humanity occurred one time, yo, right? And it occurred in one place, and we know based off DNA evidence, you talked about it. You talked about the guy's name was Albert Perry. We
Eric
talked
Perry, there you
about
go.
Perry.
There you
Yeah,
go.
he
There you
has that
go.
A00. Now, but he's an African American, and they were simply saying that he had genetic markers that they had not yet seen before, right? And they ended up figuring out the shit was in West Africa. I bring Cameroon.
Nah.
I'm just no. Me and Ali Muhammad got into it. Listen to me. Let me
Yeah.
finish.
All right, Unc, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you do your thing.
Yeah,
Oh, you
yeah.
got
It
do your
actually
thing. Do your thing.
from
Do your
from
thing.
Cameroon. Cameroon, right? That's what come. Man, Ali Muhammad got to arguing about that one day. All you gotta do is look it up, man. You gotta trust something at this point.
Yo, you know what? Yo, Unc, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I got hope that I'm gonna flip you too one day. You know why? Because look, let
Well,
me tell you something. Ali Muhammad was one of the people I used to argue with too.
mm,
And now look what he talking. He kicking the same thing. He
that's right.
basically saying
That's
we're
right.
American. So listen, Unc, let me tell you something. Let me say this. You actually one of our sharpest minds. Like I always gave you your
okay,
respect. I
okay,
don't put you in
okay.
I don't put you in the boat with the dashiki wearing big
Yeah,
bead
don't put me
dudes.
there. I ain't
I
there.
don't put you in there. I don't put you in
Yeah,
that the big bead
yeah,
wearing wanna be
yeah,
African. I don't put you there. I
yeah. I
always
ain't doing all
respected your
that.
mind. But
All
let me
right,
tell you something. Look,
all right.
listen,
Go ahead.
y'all only got but so much time left. It's only but so much. Look, think about
What?
this. 10,
Mm-hmm.
15 years ago, we was
Mm-hmm.
having these same conversations. And look
Right.
at the people now. You got thousands of people every day uploading reels talking about what we actually are, which is American.
Mm-hmm.
I when I was the minority looking crazy before the Dane Callaways, before all these people, what I see now is the shit moving. It's moving, and we gonna flip you too soon, Unc. You listen. I don't agree with that Cameroon thing. I'm gonna let you
Right.
rock though. I'm agree with that. I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you rock with that.
So
But
I mean,
he's
so
an
how do
American.
you make determinations? What do you use? Because you know we limited. What do you use to validate what you're talking about? that's important for the people to know. How do you arrive at your answers? You get it?
All right.
So yeah, the Perry is DNA, right? So how do you arrive at that?
What do you mean?
Seriously.
I don't understand what you're asking me.
Okay, let me tell you how I arrived at Albert Perry's DNA actually came from Cameroon, right? And so DNA has a constant mutation rate. And that constant mutation rate, they use a molecular clock. And that actually looks at the constant mutation rate. It times it, right? And so basically, that constant mutation rate takes all DNA coming from Africa, right? Coming from Africa, all right? And so we know for sure and for certain that came from Africa, okay?
All right,
because
so
it's the starting point. Hold on, because it's one of the oldest DNA markers. And so if human DNA comes from Africa, and you got the oldest one, it wouldn't make sense for it to be in America, because you're gonna be back at that question again.
Time out. Let me say this.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so you a science guy, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm giving you. Molecular clock. Look it up.
So let me ask you a question. So when a black person connects back genetically to Africa, right? When they do the DNA test, right?
Right.
And it comes back with the faint genetic markers, 2% here, 3% here, 10% here, 8%, 7%. Why does that happen?
Because it's just giving you the amount of like admixture and the percentage of DNA that you're connecting to in a particular area. Most people don't know it. People think it's like 100%. I'm 100% African. They misread the test. So it's a hard.
All right.
Study,
So if a Nigerian takes a test, they test not gonna come back Nigerian.
No, there is no test that's gonna make you come back Nigerian.
No, meaning what I'm saying is, it wouldn't be more solid. It would be faint genetic markers, just like ours.
No, I've never heard of a term called faint genetic markers. No such thing as that. That's a nonsense.
When I say faint genetic, what I mean by that is
2%, 3%,
the 2%,
low numbers,
the small percentage. Yeah. All right. So look, I posit.
You got noise coming from your mic.
All right, hold on. I'll turn this off. Hold on. Wait. All right. Hold on. Go ahead. I'm gonna turn.
You hear me, Unc?
Yeah, you hear you.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so we familiar with the American Colonization Society, correct?
Yeah, that's jumping off of DNA, but go ahead.
Say it again.
I said you're changing the conversation by that. That's a different area.
No, I'm not. You smart. I want to use your intelligence to answer your own questions and what you're saying right now. So look,
go ahead. So listen, you see about to do it.
No, you will. You smart. I ain't talking one of them big B dashiki where I'm talking to you. All right. So look, listen. So when they sent, we're gonna agree that they sent tens of thousands of American black people to Africa, correct?
Yeah. They sent. I don't know about no town. I don't know about that.
I said tens of thousands. The number I heard the numbers between 13 and 20. So I'm gonna just say tens of thousands.
I'm not sure that have not verified that. I don't know, but go ahead. I'm following you.
All the information states between 13 and 20,000 black Americans were went to Africa by way of the American Colonization Society. All right. So now, let me ask you this, Unc. So in 200 years, right? Now, you do agree we founded Liberia and helped to find Sierra Leone, right?
Yeah, they sent people back. Yeah.
Right. We founded us black people, Americans, right?
Yeah.
All right. So in 200 years, let me ask you this. Do you think our people, those tens of thousands of people, would have spread out and went to different places and had sex with different people?
You be spread out where? Over Africa?
West Africa particularly.
No. That ain't happening. No.
So are you hold on. So you're telling me, that they sent tens of thousands of black people over there and they all stayed in one place?
Yep. But see, I have not agreed on the tens of thousands of number. I have not agreed.
All right. So let's say they sent 5,000 black people over there. Let's say 5,000. When we both know that the numbers, if you read the information, it says some things say 13 and it goes from 13 to 20. Can we agree on that at least? Even there's no solid numbers. But
I'm not. Nope. It's a number trap, because I asked you how do you arrive at your numbers, and then I said how do you arrive at your information, and I'm giving you. Look. I'm listening.
So listen. So you're saying that the thousands. All right. So can we say thousands? We don't gotta say tens of thousands. Can we say
go ahead. I'm gonna let you pin me down on the thousands. Go ahead.
All right, so cool. That's cool. So if thousands of black people went to Africa 200 years ago, you think they stayed in one place?
No, I'm pretty sure everybody didn't stay put. That wouldn't make sense to stay.
Right.
People super
All right.
migrate. Go ahead.
And
Yeah.
look, and
Uh-huh.
our brothers and sisters spread out, and they met people from over there, and they had sex with them and had children. Would you agree
All
that
right.
that would happen?
Yeah, that's plausible. But go
All
ahead.
right. That's how. That's why when an American black person takes a DNA test, they don't
Mm-hmm.
have nothing solid because our people were sent there. Our people went there. That's my position. My
Okay.
position is you're not listen. Look, you've been in New York. One of the first times I ever met you was on 125th.
I
You know what
remember.
I'm
I
saying?
remember. I
All right.
remember, bro.
So look.
Mm.
You know 125th, you see Africans. You go down the Canal Street, you see
Yeah.
Africans.
Yep.
If us four, even the brother that hasn't spoke yet, the older gentleman at the bottom with the Jordan shirt on,
Right.
if us four went, me, you, Sa, and the brother at the bottom went to Canal Street,
Mm-hmm.
would we stand out? Yes or no?
Yeah, I already agree that we different from continental Africans. We African Americans, we different.
No, hold on, listen. Part of you accepting African American is to remove you from the land.
Well, yeah, but that didn't take us back to our central question of talking about the molecular clock, and I explained to you that one of the oldest DNA markers is A00, and the molecular clock verifies and proves that anything that walks
so
upright come from Africa first. Hold on, comes from Africa first, and so we understand that Albert Perry was caught up, and his ancestors arrived in the Americas, right? But he arrived with that DNA marker already intact, right? We know it come from Africa based off of the constant mutation rate that takes you back to Africa. That's what I'm saying. You can follow that. That's a simple, easy test. You could look that up. You get that?
listen.
And I'm saying you can get that out the Journal of Nature and the Journal of Science, right? Now, what you're talking about, we guessing. I had fun with you with the
I'm not guessing.
okay, but wait a minute.
I'm using common sense.
But wait, I'm gonna show you something. I want to show you something. But even if people left out of Liberia and migrated to other places in Africa, you and for some reason you claiming that's how our DNA is like it is over here. That's what you're
And
saying?
I've been saying it for years. No,
Yeah, that's
no,
crazy.
no, no.
That's not
Listen,
logical.
what I've been saying for years is the reason why, and I know this makes sense to people that's watching this. There's no way. Listen, let me say something. Look, a large reason why a lot of y'all can't change your position is because of how much of an investment, time, and energy you put into telling people we from Africa. So you can't. The masses
True,
will
I'm
look at
with
you like
you.
you're. No, listen what I'm saying. The masses will look at you like you crazy if you turn and started to tell people who we actually are. Like if you changed and said, yo, we American, we ain't. If Taj Tariq Bey went and said, yo, we not Moors, we American. If all of y'all, if Dr. Umar Johnson said, yo, you know what, we ain't African, we American. If they kept it real, y'all would lose y'all followings,
So
especially with
what? Well,
the big
but you
B,
forgot.
the big
You
B.
forgot.
Dahiki wearers, huh?
I know, but you forgot. I already lost my following because I switched up on them, and I changed. I
But
went to science. I lost a large. Sure, I already
yeah,
been through that strain already. Remember?
but I'm talking about you haven't left the African standpoint.
I
The
can't.
Africans, the
Let
crazy.
me. Can I tell you why? Just let
Go
me
ahead.
tell you why without cutting me off. The reason I haven't left it is because science says that. Science says that Homo sapiens sapien is a savanna ape. Simple as that. They migrated out of Africa and walked to the Americas. That's what science says. Now, just people talking, regular talking that talk,
Hold on.
right? They can't
Did you
produce
say
any
an ape?
data.
Did you say an ape? I just want to make sure you said an ape.
Yeah, Savannah apes. We Savannah apes, absolutely. Of course.
So you believe in
Ape?
Darwinism?
No, not even a little bit. Darwinism has nothing to do with Charles Darwin. It was actually created after his death. That's a pseudoscientific racist
You
stance.
know, when I say Darwinism, you know what I'm talking about.
You talking about
Darwinism
the
is
scientific theory? You talking about the science? That's
the
not. I'm
theory of
just.
evolution, like the
Yeah,
theory of
yeah.
evolution.
So don't say Darwinism because Darwinism was a misconstruing of the scientific theory
But
itself. So
we
never
know
say
it.
it.
We know that. We talk, but we got to make it plain for the big B
I'm
dashiki
making it.
wearers. We got to make it plain.
You can
We got to
stop
make it
banging.
plain. I'm
So
making
I'm
it plain
trying
for
to.
them.
Yes,
I
I
want them to
accept.
be able to follow, huh?
Yes, yes, I accept the scientific theory.
All right,
Absolutely, this is
all right,
scientific theory.
all right. So what I'm saying is this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's make it simple. Let's
All
make
right.
it simple.
Uh,
All right. So first and foremost, right? We are better than Africans. Now,
subjective.
let me say,
Subjective.
hold. Okay, look, I ain't cut you off. Let me lay my plane.
All right, go
Look,
ahead, my fault.
listen.
Go ahead. Go
If
ahead.
you believe that we are Africans, then you believe that they went and handpicked the cream of the crop out of Africa. Like they said, no, we don't want them. Give us him right there. Give us him. Give us her over there. Listen,
Yeah.
there's no people on the planet, no people in any time period. Now listen to this. Listen to I'm about to make this statement.
All
And I
right.
want the big B dashiki wearers to hear this. You heard? There's no people on the planet that have ever made an impact on humanity like us. And you take our last 400 years and put it up against any 10,000 year period of any people, we crush them. We crush them. The stuff we created, the stuff we invented, the list. If you really read the list of the inventions of Black Americans, the world would be cavemen if it wasn't for us, and that includes Africa. The
Crazy.
world will be cavemen. That's a fact.
So,
The
so
world
then
will
why
be.
not? So then, if you and you believe that in your heart, right?
It's the truth. It's not about belief.
All right. So then, so
Belief
hold
is
on.
subjective.
So then, why
It's the
not?
truth.
Why? Right. So if you think that's the proof, right? Then why go
Proof.
against the thing? So what I'm saying helps you get to that understanding. The way you talking about it, it puts you out the game completely. It make you something else. It don't make you African American. African
I'm not
Americans have a
African American.
distinction.
I'm
No,
not. I'm not. Listen.
no,
I'm
listen.
just.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me just
Go
let,
ahead.
let me land. Let me land my high altitude
My
stealth
bad, God.
bump.
My
Yeah,
bad,
I
OG.
got a
Go
high
ahead, Unc.
altitude
Go
stealth
ahead.
bump.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Unc. My bad. My bad.
what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to give you is, I'm trying to show you how we get to be, how we became Black Americans, and you like that word better. What you're saying is, you're making this indigenous to America. The people that's indigenous to America got ran out of town. They got decimated, yo. They almost went extinct, bro. So why not? So you talking about the people who are the foundation of the building of America. They fought in all the wars, World War I, World War II. I'm trying to show you how to get to
What
that,
about
and
the
then you can
Spanish and
stick your
Indian
chest.
War? What about the Spanish and Indian War? What about the Seminole Wars? I'm
What
talking about
about it?
before that. I'm
And
talking
we
about
fought, we
before.
fought in all that. We fought on both
Yes.
sides.
The first,
Fought
listen,
on both
who was the,
sides.
all right, so let me ask you a question.
Buffalo, we were Buffalo
I'm
soldiers
gonna ask
and
you a
all.
question. I'm gonna let you go. Who was the first person to die for America? Huh?
My phone breaking up. My phone
Who was the
breaking up.
first person?
Crispus
Who?
Attucks.
Right. And what was Crispus Attucks? What was he?
Crispin Addicts. That's the person.
He
The first person to die for this country was what?
The black man.
But what was he?
he was an American, so called.
He was an Indian. He was black. You gonna read history? Look, let me tell you something. Let me say
Uh
this.
oh. Uh oh.
So look, this is what it boils down to, right? All of us here, I'm sure, have went down a rabbit hole. All of y'all don't believe the same thing. All of y'all do not believe the same thing. I've been around, I've been in this, I've been doing this a long time. Even if y'all didn't see me, y'all don't know who I am. I've been around the greats. The greats. I'm talking about the greats. The greats standing next to Sodom. I've been around the greats. The greatest debaters you got, the people that can sit there and spit. I'm talking about for an hour and just have everybody captivated. I've been around the greats. Let me just boil it down. Listen. All of y'all went down the rabbit hole. I've been down rabbit holes. I almost was an Israelite before. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the closest. Because you know why? Because I know that we the special people on the planet, but not from a biblical standpoint. We just obviously are the special people on the planet. We the coolest. We make everything good. We make stuff cool. Everybody copy. You could go to Russia. You could go to Africa. You could go to Japan. You could go anywhere in the country. You're gonna find somebody trying to emulate you, black man.
I agree with you
You're gonna
100%.
find
Let me
somebody.
ask
You're
you
gonna
this
find.
though.
Go
Let
ahead.
me ask you this, D. You said that they took the best out of Africa.
No,
Yes?
I didn't say that. I said for you to think that that we are African, you would literally have to be saying that they hand selected the cream, like they picked the finest berries off the tree. That's what I'm saying. They picked the finest of the finest. For if that's you, if you believe that we from Africa, they picked. That means they went there and they hand selected the finest of the finest. Those are the most.
Do you believe in the transatlantic slave trade?
See, yeah, look, yeah, listen. So what was it called? But what was it called before the transatlantic slave trade?
What was it called?
The Middle Passage.
Yes. Do you believe in the transatlantic slave trade?
No.
Whoa.
What they did was they shuffled black people around the Americas. That's what they did. From the islands to the mainland, from the mainland to the Texas to Ohio, dude. That's what they did. So listen, let me say this. You can go on the internet right now and find tons of pictures of white people packed on ships like sardines, but y'all would rather believe y'all came here like that. And there's no evidence. 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 You could go to a museum right now and you'll find ancient artifacts. You ain't never seen a slave ship paddle.
Moses. I think he got you, Moses, man.
You ain't never seen a paddle.
Let me show you something. This brother right here been coming on here fighting, telling us that we need to go back home to Africa and all that.
So
that's
why he not in Africa? Why is he not in Africa, son?
I asked him that question. I asked him that.
Y'all need to hear the answer again. Y'all need to hear the answer again. The answer is, bro, is Pan-Africanism has been attacked ever since the 1920s and 1930s. We've been dealing with house niggas that work for the FBI that been helping the government trap African people here. And why do they trap African people here in masses? Because Africa in itself, the continent of Africa, is the bank of America. They're not going to allow us to do what Marcus Garvey wanted us to do, make a mass exodus back to the land of our ancestors and cut the faucet off. That's the main reason why we here. We dealing with house niggas saying the same stuff that you saying, trying to convince people to stay here.
Son, look. I want you to go to Africa. I don't want you to stay.
Yeah, y'all want us, but that's what I'm saying. Y'all want us to go as individuals.
I just let you talk. I want you, all of y'all big B dashiki wearing niggas that think y'all African, to go to Africa so they can show y'all ain't no damn Africans. That's what I want y'all to do. I do want you to go. I know I've been telling. Hold
on, Moses. Let him go.
All right.
I've been telling people this for years. As soon as y'all come with that, I ask you, why don't you go to Africa? Let me ask you a question, brother. Let me ask you this. Give me a historical African figure. Give me your favorite African. You that was just talking. Give me your favorite African historical figure.
It would be Steve Biko.
What year was he from? What year is he?
That was a great one.
Steve Biko, I think, was like in the 60s. He was before. Late. I think it was like late 60s.
Okay, you got any ancient historical ones, like somebody that you could tell us about, like an old?
Ancient from the Kushite territory would be King Alara from Nubia.
Kushite Empire, King Alara.
King Alara, Queen Aramaeus, Amaranus. I mean, all right. So
I like that. Now watch this. What's your great grandfather name on your mother's side?
On my mother's side, it was a white dude named.
You
just asked the question. I'm telling you, on my mother's side, you asked.
White dude. I said grandmother. Why you talking about a white dude?
You said on my mother. He said on my mother's side. Did he not?
Great grandmother on your mother's side. Why you talking about a white dude?
Listen. Let me tell you what the records show. The records show that the Lenny family gave their name to these African slaves. Her name is not in any records. You can go look that up for yourself.
Where did you get that from?
Yo, that's our old listen. I'm answering your question. It's an oral history and it's on the internet. You can go look it up yourself. Go look up the Lenny family. Go look up Lenny's Mill in North Carolina. It's going to tell you that those slaves were given the name of the Lenny family, of those wealthy Lennies that was in.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I asked you what her name was. You would have said Eileen Liddy. That's my point, Si.
I can tell you about Jane Lenny, but Jane Lenny is after slavery, bro.
I just let you talk. Yo, Si, you know I used to trip them up with this back in the day.
I just answered your question. There is Jane Lenny, but she comes
let him go, Moses. You gotta let him go now.
Yo, Si, look. Oh, you Moses 77? You Mr.
Yeah,
Moses?
he Moses 77. Yeah.
Oh, I saw your comment now. Oh, okay. All right. So look, listen, Mr. Moses, let me say this. You will never be able to come up here and show us any paperwork of somebody saying that they got some paperwork of somebody getting off a slave ship. That is a lie. You or nobody on here could come on here. And, listen, I tell people, go to familysearch.org. All right. Any public records that I'm talking about old census records, I'm talking from the 1800s. If you could go back far, as long as you go back, you go back, right? Any public records related to your family can be traced. None of y'all will come here and show me nothing about an African. You're going to tell me that your grandmother told you an oral history? None of our grandmothers told us we was from Africa. You know who run around with the red, black, and green? Y'all are the first level of consciousness. Y'all on the first floor because you have a full sense of obligation to act like you from Africa so much that you will come here and say that you got some paperwork that says you from Africa and oral history. Show them. Why don't you share it? Share it, Mr. Moses. Share the information that shows that your family is from Africa. That your family came from Africa. Show us that.
All right. While he doing that, let me go to my brother Elder Son.
Don't show me no Google stuff about no Liddy family.
All right, hold on.
Google about a Liddy family.
Hold on, D.
He just asked me for that, and then
hold on, brother.
I said, don't show me no Google stuff about a Liddy family. Show me something that says your family is from Africa. That's what I said.
I have to go to North Carolina.
Show me how you trace back.
All right, that's enough. Moses, that's enough. Let me go to Elder Suntan. Do you have any question for the brother, Suntan?
Oh, yeah, okay. Peace to you, my brother, my New York brother. I'm here in Detroit.
How you doing? Peace, brother.
What I got to say to you is this here, because I lean a little on your side, but I just lean on your side just through agnosticism. I'm agnostic. It's things that I don't know. But as far as me being scientifically grounded, I would stick with that until I do know. You know, I ponder things and I wonder. So I'm not here to give you a diatribe or nothing like that. Your ideals is your ideals. And your proof is within yourself because people are going to ask you to prove it. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm American, but the chronology and lineage tells me that it comes from Africa, and scientific proof tells me this through books. And I understand this. I want to go this far to tell you this. The propaganda and all information that been provided, it's been Eurocentric, and people don't want to accept that either. So I'm in that sort of paradigm right there where I'm very agnostic about things. I used to be just religious in my own way. So I would say to you, I'm American. I'm just a Black American. I would say that, and I won't even label myself. I know I'm American. I don't know nothing of Africa. I've never been there. But the census tell me that we come from Africa. And
yes, hold on. You saying that you trace your family back and the census record said you had family that got off a boat?
Nope. I didn't say that. I said, and because I'm making a blanket, excuse me.
Okay.
I'm making a blanket statement that the census tell the people of our culture that we are from there. That's what the census say. So while that's just the literature, and you know, I'm gonna stay scientifically grounded because I believe in a thing called realism. You know, I believe in reality. So I'm going to be agnostic, and I'm going to keep learning, and I'll listen to you and your ideals because I'm not going to even ask you to prove it. All I'm going to say is this is how this man thinks, and I can just, ponder just your thought, and I'll leave it that away. But staying scientifically grounded and staying into reality is one thing, and believing in myths and the stuff that you can't prove is another one.
I want to say this. I'm 50-50 with my brother D. At one point, I was just 100 against him.
Right.
Now I remember those days. I'm
50-50 with him because he do make a lot of sense. Whether y'all want to say you know, ignorant. That's on y'all. That's why I'm a free spirit, because I'm able to listen to everybody. And my question to you, Brother D, is why you can't be both African and American, African and Indian? Why you can't be both?
So look, let me say this. You see how Tazariak say he put white people and Africans in the same boat? I'm the same way, but I don't hate them, right? I don't hate Africans. I just know that we not the same. I know that I'm better than y'all. Like, my people are better than y'all. Not necessarily. So you can be a better person, like a nicer person. I'm talking about as far as the cream of the crop people are my people. So I'm not gonna lower myself and act like I'm some. That's like me calling myself white. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna. That's like me calling myself a European American. I'm not gonna do that. The same thing if me calling myself a European American. That's how I feel about me calling myself an African American. And for the people who keep going over their head, when you go to Africa, they're trying to be like you. They emulating you, and you over here talking about you. They know you. They know we not the same people. They know. Go to an African, right? And you'll ask them. First of all, one of my best friends is African. His name is Kwaku. It means Wednesday. He's Ghanaian. He's what you call it? Ashanti. He's from the Ashanti tribe. I can tell you all about it. That's one of my best friends since I was a kid. All right. And he can tell you his family history. He can tell you his tribal history. He can tell you what his name means. I can tell you what his name means. I could all these different things. But you know where he learned about the transatlantic slave trade? In school. Because it's ran, their curriculum is ran by the same Jews that run our curriculum. It's the same people. Same white people run their shit. I mean, their education system. It's the same people who run ours and filter the information to us. It's the same exact people. So if you can tell me somebody that can tell me their oral history, their tribal history, my best friend is African from the continent. He's Ghanaian, not fake African, real African. Not think he African, got beads and dashiki and read Timbuktu book and all this stuff. And think I'm real African from the continent, and he can tell you everything about himself. And if you ask him how did he learn about the transatlantic slave trade, he's gonna tell you that he learned about it in school. So
all right, let me say this, Brother D. I'm gonna say this. I'm realismism all the way. I'm dealing with realismism, and I've always said, if you listen to this and deal with realismism, you'll understand. If you say that we've been here to 300 to 400 years,
we've been. No, I didn't say
not you, D, not you.
Okay.
I'm saying the people that say we come from Africa. So if you say we've been here 300 to 400 years, let's look at this for a minute. We've been stripped of our name, stripped of your culture, stripped of your identity, stripped of everything. How can you then say I'm an African? Yes, you may have the DNA, but
no, you don't. No, they don't, son. They don't have the DNA. Listen, I explained
no longer say that all the way. I gotta go 50.
You can't strip the DNA. You can't strip the DNA.
I gotta go 50.
I explained it already.
Let me bring on my sister Issa Queen. Go ahead, Issa Queen.
Peace to the brothers on the panel, the elders on the panel. Peace, everybody. Yeah, a lot was said. I actually really don't have any questions for the brother because of the simple fact that I don't agree with anything that he said today. There's certain parts that I do agree with, but for the most part, the entirety of his message, I don't agree with. I think that it is a testament to the miseducation of American school systems. I really do. And the reason why I feel
hold up, let the sister talk.
Yo, chill, Rakufu.
Mute him. Whoever just said that, mute him.
Yeah, chill, Rakufu. Don't come in with that. Don't do that.
Yeah, get out of here. Before we kick you off the show.
Right. So for one, I think it's very disingenuous to keep on asking people to find out which slave ship or whatever it is that people come in on, when in all reality, these were cargo ships. and they have been repurposed after that. And we know that the transatlantic slave trade happened by not just because of the census that they were
She gonna say
coming in, but
the Ghana ship.
also off of the fact that there were rebellions that happened on said ships, like the Katina that literally had a rebellion on a ship, and then the African people stole the ship and took it over to the Caribbean and became free people. So like this idea that the transatlantic slave trade cannot be traced because you can't find the census, which you absolutely can, but you can also find this history in the rebellious nature of the people that were being enslaved. You can follow that history that way as well. And then also, when you're talking about, I didn't hear you talk about any of the tribes, but I was in and out. So I'll take that with a grain of salt. But I keep on hearing I'm American. American is a very new nationality. It's very new. I don't think any of the indigenous people that were living here were calling themselves American. They were calling themselves by their tribes. And it's very weird that we don't necessarily learn about the tribe
All
that
right.
they're talking
Let
about.
her complete her thought.
Oh,
You
okay.
got it.
What's
Coming
up,
up now.
brother?
Yo,
All
so
right.
look,
Go
so
ahead, go
listen.
ahead. And then I got my man
So look,
Cosmic next, and that's Betty.
I didn't say we refer to ourselves as American. If you would, so you got so part of a conversation, like you know what I'm saying, a very important of a part of a conversation is listening. Like we got two ears and we got one mouth, so we listen. We're here that I said right that I didn't say we called ourselves American. I never said that. I didn't say that. He asked me what am I? I said I'm American, right? And when I broke down the language. All right, so Spain named places in the Americas. All right, three of the places they named was Puerto Rico, which means rich port, Costa Rica, which means rich coast, and Almerica, which means soul rich. Almerica, which means soul rich. That's what that means. So if you look up Spanish, it's Almerica means soul rich. So over time, during wars, there were wars, Spanish, English wars, and when the English, by the time the English got it, Almerica went changed to America. So me saying I'm American is just because that's the way we talk today. Me just being literal, regular. Yes, there were, and when Sai asked in the beginning of the show, which you may have not
But
been,
but that's actually has
when Shy,
nothing
let
to
me
do
finish,
with
let me
my
lay my
point.
plane, and you can talk. Let me just, I
Yo,
just let
let
you
him
talk.
finish. Let him finish.
All right. So listen, in the beginning of the show, Sai asked me a question. He asked me, you just messed me up. You just made me forget. Yo, look, listen. Sai asked me, was I American? And I answered him, and I answered him in the way we speak today. Over time, it went from Almerica to American. Now, he also asked me what my tribal affiliation was. I don't have a tribal affiliation because my grandparents were different tribes. Then this is something that I've learned over time. So even trying to your grandmother, just like your grandmother might have been Blackfoot and your grandfather might have been Cherokee or Washita or whatever the case may be. That's how it was. That's how it was. Now you brought up the rebellion. So there's a famous rebellion that happened in the Caribbean where a lot of the Africans jumped over. They say Africans jumped over the slave ship or whatever, right? And they say the circle that when the Africans was coming over, they jumped. They say the shark circled the water, right? You ever heard of that? That
Yeah,
place? All right. Where is that? Is that in the Caribbean or is that in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean?
it's in the Caribbean.
Right. And
It
what
was
did
in
I
the
say in the
Atlantic
beginning
Ocean.
when you asked me in
The
the
Atlantic
beginning?
Ocean 7.
It was in the
It's in the
Atlantic Ocean.
Caribbean. It's in the Caribbean. The
Oh,
Atlantic Ocean touches the
shit.
Caribbean. But I'm saying, where
No, I'm
is
not
it?
saying. I'm saying the sharks were circling in the Atlantic Ocean. That's what I'm saying.
The place where we're talking about is in the Caribbean. So I know what I'm talking about. There's a place with Shark Circle that was supposed to be the root of the trade of the slave trade. My point is this. Listen, the slavery happened like this. They came here, they dominated the Americas, North, Central, South America. We were descended on by multiple countries. We did not have guns. We didn't have guns. We fought. We fought France, we fought Spain, we fought England, we fought Portugal, we fought until we couldn't fight no more. You got plenty of information out there, the Trail of Tears, all these different things, the Seminole Wars, all these different things. That's your people. Those are your people. Those are your people. there was tribes in the Caribbean. There were the Caribs. There were the Tainos. There were different. There was tribes everywhere. No, I don't know exactly what. If I had to pick a tribe right now for myself, I would pick one of my grandparents' tribes. Maybe I when we do that, when we say that I'm one of my grandparents' tribes, I don't have a tribal affiliation. But one thing I do know is, for example, an ignorant person today would think that reparations is supposed to be represented in a monetary denomination, right? You got ignorant people who looking for money, but your ancestors wanted their home back. They didn't want money. They wanted 40 acres and a mule to work their land. That's what they wanted. They didn't want any. They wanted their land back. So how do you get to the point where you here now? How do y'all get to this point? You
All
know
right,
how?
all right. We
The
gotta
first law.
we gotta go through the questions. Let me get my man Cosmic Chris. Turn
I
on your camera.
actually never. I
Turn on
actually
your
got cut.
camera.
Was I breaking up? That's why he was able to just cut me off like that.
I
Was
cut
that
you
what
off.
the
We let you
problem
talk.
was?
It's my
I'll come
show.
back to you. Sis. I want to get the people
As
that.
soon as I said tribe, I actually was trying to talk about the census, and he went completely different from where I was going
I already told you about the
because he
census.
kind of like jumped in on what I
You
was
can show
trying to
me.
say.
Can you show me a census with an African on it? You can show me that.
Got it.
So
I ain't
again,
think so.
you're
I ain't
kind
think
of
so.
taking me off of what I was trying to say, and I just want to land my plane with this last little thing.
Go ahead, go ahead.
As much as we want to constantly talk about censuses, right? Africans were already coming to this country via Spain before these American and colony censuses that you're talking about, because Africans were literally the ones that built St. Augustine in Florida for Spain, and that
No,
was
they
in
didn't. No, they didn't. No,
1565.
no
Let her
So
Africans
close
built
out.
anything in America.
Let her
No,
close
why
out.
didn't Africans build?
and
Yo,
I know I'm not breaking up now. You're just cutting me off as I'm talking.
park her car. Let her park so we can move on.
Right. Right. So I just wanted to like add that on to it. So Africans was already on this continent because of Spain coming here first, because that they were already had a hold in Florida. So how do you then ignore that there is African people here, ignore the transatlantic slave trade, ignore the rebellions that was happening on the transatlantic slave trade, and also by proxy ignore the breeding farms that was happening in Virginia and Maryland after they got rid of the transatlantic slave trade. There's so many things that you have to overlook to make your story plausible. And I think that's why you didn't bring any sources today.
All right, let me go. Let me go to
Yo,
Cosmic Chris.
no. Let me respond. Let me respond.
Yeah, respond, brother. Respond.
First of all, again, I'm not coming here trying to convince people like you. And y'all have the same talking points. My point, listen, let me say what I'm saying. So look, listen. You can't show me a census record. You can't show me a census record with an African on it. You can't show me that. You can't show me your family coming from Africa. You can't show me that. You can't show me Africans being here before black people was here. When you go to when you look at have you ever heard of Arnoldus Montanus? Has anybody ever heard of Arnoldus Montanus? He was a
No, teach
cartographer who
me.
came. I'm not just talking to you. Everybody's heard of Arnoldus? Look him up. Arnoldus Montanus. He came to the Americas and he documented what he saw. All of these Europeans documented what they saw. All of them. All of them documented what they saw. And you know what they saw? They saw you. They saw black people. So you're gonna get these people who come up here and try to sound smart. Like I've been dealing with this for years. Sana used to throw me in debates with people who can recite books. I'm not gonna
Right,
recite a book. I'm not gonna do that. I was doing that when I was a teenager. I'm not gonna do that. I don't have to sound smart for you. What I do is I tap into the common sense. So when I was a minority, when I was by myself, before the Dane Callaways and all these people out here putting out the information that we from America, all this information out here. Look, yo, Si, you know what else I like to kill them with too?
Mhm.
Listen, people like to bring up the slavevoyage.org. I like to kill them with that. You know why? Because if you plug in the voyages, you'll see how very little people actually came from Africa. You'll see that they didn't bring anybody to really. If you really look at it, they really didn't. The amount of people that they brought here has nothing. And then we look at common sense, right? The brother got up here early and he said, "Yo, they killed 100 million Indians." So they killed 100 million Indians, and just by coincidence, they supposedly brought 100 million Africans to replace them, right? Just by coincidence. That makes sense. That makes sense. The only person that would make sense too is one of the people with the big beads and the dashiki, and the other people who just feel like they gotta say they from Africa.
All right. Let me bring on my man Cosmic Chris. What up, Chris?
What's up? What's up, Elder? Can I be heard?
Yes, you can. We hear you.
Listen, he said everything I was going to say. My whole question was for him to expound on Almerica, because I heard him say it way back in the day on your channel, and it always resonated with me. And I did my own research. I asked ChatGPT and everything else, and I came to the same conclusion he did. So he already addressed it though, but that was literally my question for him to expound a little bit more in depth on Almerica. I know for a fact that most of these Africans on here are these we come from Africa, out of Africa terrorists. They're all delusional.
The big beads and the dashikis.
Yeah, all that. They all delusional. They know Pan-African chains. They want to be so bad. Basically, like on some real, like you kind of just addressed it too. But I was just going to say, like every person that came here during that actually lived during that time, they documented that all the Africans that came were the minority. But the people nowadays want to make it us, the majority of us. When literally everything documented states that the minority of people came from Africa. The most came from the Caribbean. It's documented.
But that's just during the slave trade. But they were, again, so first of all, when you read history, right? First of all, all black people wasn't slaves. I always keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind. So all black people were not slaves. That's first and foremost, right? All right. So when you read history, you're going to read it like this. You're going to see freemen and you're going to see freedmen. There's a difference. We got to be able to delineate, and you got to be able to know which one is which. Everybody was not slaves.
What's the difference?
Right? A freedman was a slave. And let me say this. Hold on. Let me land this plane. First and foremost, y'all, right? One thing black people have a problem with grasping is economics, all right, and politics. We've had a problem grasping these concepts, right? So if we pay attention, we live in a country that is called a capitalist country, capitalist society, all right? And a capitalist, who mic is that?
Somebody mic. Y'all gotta go on mute.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
So listen, in a capitalist society, slavery is based on wage. I'm going to say it again. Slavery is based on wage, all right? If you go outside tomorrow and you have somebody wash your car and it takes them an hour and you pay them $10, that was a slave. That's how it works. Over time, labor laws were put in place to change the way you see slavery, and now slavery has went from slavery to employment. All right, people be like, "What? You crazy? What you mean slavery was it? What you mean? What do you mean? How would a slave buy their freedom if they weren't being paid? Huh, sir? How would a slave buy their freedom without money? With their looks?
That's correct, brother.
How
I got you next, King J, and then I got.
He can put his hand up for a
How
minute.
far am I down the line, sir? I've been here before everybody.
Let the brother talk. He can be putting his hand up in the middle for a minute.
All right, hold on. Let me get Rakufu. Rakufu have been here. Go ahead, Rakufu.
I just want the brother to elaborate. He said something about America, right? Being coming from the Almerica, right? Almerica is his statement, but we all know that Vespucius Americus is the name it came from.
See, look, you don't even know the name. It's Americo Vespucci.
You know, okay, thank you, because you know it was an old saying back when we was growing up. New York dudes talk faster than the New York minute with a slick tongue. They always selling hocus pocus dreams. That's how this sounds to us, man. As soon as we make a little, there you go, running your mouth.
I was correcting you. It's Americo.
Well, were you doing it right though, or were you doing it in a sarcastic way? You know what I meant.
Just let him go. Let him go.
Everybody don't know. Everybody don't know what you mean. Everybody don't know what you mean. So I'm correct.
Everybody do ask.
Listen, hold on. Listen. If nobody cut nobody off, they'd be finished and we can move on. But when we cut people off, we tend to take long with the person that's asking the question. Because we cut some off. So we got to let them go so they can finish and then we move on. Go ahead,
So,
Rakufu.
okay, so I'm finishing up right here. I only got one paragraph. The brother said there's no census with African names on it coming to the slavery of America. And then I just hit that in Chat GPT, and I want him to hear this from Chat GPT. You are 100% right about the U.S. Census. There's no official U.S. Census that recorded original African birth names when people were brought into American slavery. But stop right there. Don't get like you won something. It's a reason for that. The U.S. Census didn't even begin until 1790. I rest my case. Go ahead, y'all.
All right.
Actually, it was 1789. Actually, it was 1789. Let me correct you. It was
Okay, thank you, brother.
1789.
Okay.
All right.
All right. King J, you got the floor, brother.
Hold on. Can I respond to him?
Peace.
No. Go ahead.
Let me respond to him, man. You can't
D.
let people talk and let me respond.
Yeah, go ahead. Respond, D.
All right. So first and foremost, the census. You look. I just want to say this. I'm not even going. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to respond to him. I'm not arguing with nobody who had to just go and Chat GPT to talk to me. Who the next person?
They always
Who the next person, Si? Who the next
All
person?
right. King, let's go.
I'm not responding to you.
Appreciate it.
Turn on your camera, brother. Turn on your camera.
Peace to the panel. To the brother. Now, could you stop? Put it on it so I can see him when I ask the question. I just want to.
All right. Go ahead.
So, to the brother. Now, you made a big deal about us not being able to trace our ancestry. Past a certain slave ship voyage or whatever. You make a claim to have certain ancestry. So, but you say your ancestry is mixed up. Is that correct? As far as like the
Tribal
Cherokee?
affiliation? Yes. Tribal
Yeah.
affiliation. Yes.
So is there so just say your mom is one and your father is another one, correct?
Meaning like my grandparents are two different over here and two different over there, like that. Like it's four
Yeah.
different tribes that made my parents, that made me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So they wouldn't have any. Would they still not be found on the Dawes list? Dawes roll.
Yes. What's your question? Yes.
So what's the so you can trace your family up to the Dawes roll
I can trace my family back.
to
That's what
to
I'm
the
telling
Dawes
you.
roll.
Are dogs the only? I know you're trying to sound smart, but are dogs the only Indian rose?
I mean, that's not
Are
even the
dogs
question.
the only Indian rose? Yes or no? Yes or
So I'm
no?
not. So those are the ones that I'm familiar with. Can you?
Right. Okay. So then
Okay.
look. So now ask me, because I'm
So
familiar. So listen. So there are more roles than just the dogs roles. See, look. That's why I want to be here, because I want y'all to know, so
so
y'all can
where
go
well
look up y'all
so
stuff.
but hold on because when I asked you about what tribe you from, you say you didn't know. So
I did
Dawes,
not say that. I did not say that.
you
Listen,
said it was
one thing I want
mixed
y'all to
up.
do is
You
stop
said it
putting
was
words in my
mixed.
mouth. What I said is I don't have an actual affiliation because my grandparents are different things. That's what I said. So I don't claim a tribe. That's what I said. I didn't say I don't know. I didn't say I don't know. I did not say I don't know. I want y'all to have a straight debate with me. What I
So you
say,
don't.
I want y'all to have something to rebuttal it and straight up. We're gonna talk apples to apples and oranges and
And we
oranges.
are, and just like the brother when we brought up the Al America, you made that up.
Almarica. I did not make it up.
Almerica, brother.
Almarica.
There's no such thing as Almerica. You
Yo,
made that up, brother.
sorry.
D,
Let
we
me
got to get him
rewind. Let
out
me
of
rewind
here.
again. Let me rewind again.
Hold on,
Let me
DB.
rewind again. Let me rewind again.
Hold on. I want you to let him finish so we can move on, and I can let you respond
I'm
because it's going
responding
to
to
keep
stuff
going.
in sequence because he asked me questions. Now look, let's go to Almarica. So again, do we agree that the European countries came over here and they named places?
I agree that
Yes or no?
1507 that
Yes or
we have
no?
America Vespucci in 1507. That's where we get the word America from. Well, I don't know where Al Marie come. You made that up, brother. You made it up.
Yo, Americo Vespucci never came to America.
That's a straw man.
How was that a straw man? He never
We're
came to
talking
America.
about Al Marie, and you making that. That's what we're talking about, brother. It does not exist.
Oh, hold on,
That
stop.
is not
Alma Rica.
does
I'm
not
telling you
exist.
that. That's what the Spanish named it. That's what
Brother,
the
you made
Spanish
that,
named
brother.
it.
That's a pseudo source that comes after America.
All
You
right, look,
made that
listen,
up,
listen,
brother.
listen.
You
Look,
said
let me
that,
say this. Let me
brother.
say this. Look. I'm gonna put the
You,
information out there. I
you
know
said
that. Listen, look, Unc brought that pseudo word out here 8-10 years ago, and now y'all still running around. This is pseudo. Unc brought that out
you
eight,
said it
ten
was a
years ago.
Spanish colony. You said Almerique was a Spanish colony, and the name became America
I said territory. All right, so look, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you
it
this.
doesn't exist.
Over time, do territories change?
Where was it located at?
Yes or no? I'm asking you a
Yes,
question.
yes.
All right.
They
So when
become
they all right, so look,
synonymous.
so we agree. So we on the same page. So when the Europeans got here, was it all just America, or did they over time name different places and name? So look, when they first got here, did they say this is North, Central, and South America, or did they say this is the Americas?
Well, it was the Portuguese at first that came, and they had different colonies, right? So and they named it. It was the Americas to be exact, right? And they had different colonies within the Americas, right? The Portuguese came,
All of them did. France did.
the Dutch,
Portugal did.
the Dutch.
Belgium did. They all had. All right.
They
So
had it.
I'm saying that Spain named their territories, and I'm saying that I gave you an example. Puerto Rico is rich port. Costa Rica is rich coast, and Almerica is so rich. I'm telling you that.
Where are they
That's what it
located
is.
at on the map? What map?
What map are you talking about? What map are you talking about?
I'm
When
saying
you
it
when
doesn't
you talk
exist on,
about the Europeans coming here and it was the Americas. What map are you talking about?
brother. I'm saying there is
He
no
got a
map.
pen in his hand. A
There
pen in
is
your
no
hand
brother,
don't make you smart. I'm
brother.
asking you a question. You asking me questions you can't answer.
Can you answer my question first, brother?
What
What
question you
map?
ask me?
What map?
What map are you referring to?
I'm not referring to any map, brother. I'm
Yes, you are.
asking
You
you a
said
question.
you just said when the European came here, actually it was the Americas. You just said that. So
I
what
did.
map are you referring to?
I wasn't referring to a map at all. I asked you the question in reference to the map. And where is Al America? You said it was
Why
some
you keep
sort
saying
of
Al America? I said Almerica. The
Almeric.
name when if you saying the Americas, right? You saying the Americas.
I'm saying the Americas.
I'm saying Spain referred to it as Almerica. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that Spain referred to it as Almerica. That's what I'm
Refer to
saying.
the Americas as a whole,
Wherever the soul people were.
the soul people.
Who are the soul people?
Brother, you making this up. You tell me who are the soul people, brother?
Yo, Shaq, get him out of here, man.
This is
You
crazy.
trying to be funny. You trying to be funny.
Who are
You
the
know who the
soul
soul
people,
people are.
bro?
Yo, look, if you want to be African so bad, why you don't move to Africa?
Who are the soul people,
Why
family?
you don't move to Africa?
I never said I was African, even though I have African DNA. I don't subscribe to it. So what's your
Why
23andMe
y'all don't
say?
move to Africa? That's what I want. I want to know
What
why
is
you
your
don't move to
23andMe?
Africa. Say it
Like you
again.
look, brother, you look like you fresh off the
I
coast
know,
of
I
West
know. I look
Africa.
like yo, Si, you see these people keep regurgitating the same
All right,
things.
all right. Yo, I gotta move on. King J, I gotta move
Look.
on.
Get
I
him out
gotta
of here.
move on.
Who next, Si? Who
All
next?
right.
Get him
Hey,
out of
D,
here,
you
man.
gotta allow them to talk so we can move on. I got Sister Betty,
So
and I see you,
nonsense, Si.
DJ Genesis. We got Sister Betty in the building. Go ahead, Sister Betty.
8:36.
Bethy, I mean.
I can't hear her.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, go ahead. I unmuted. Go
All
ahead.
right, you unmuted me.
Yep,
Can you hear
you
me
good.
okay?
Yes, you good.
Okay, this was like last minute for me, sa.neter, because I took my grandsons to the jumpy house. So I pulled
Yeah.
up something really quick. I just want to say to the brother that's wearing the red, black, and green wristband, they don't even rock them in Africa, bruh. Keep it a buck. They don't even rock dashikis. And nothing that these brothers be wearing here
The big
representing
stupid bees,
Africa.
none of that.
That's a lot. You know how many
They
flags?
don't even rock that
You
in
know how many
Africa.
flags in
But
Africa?
Brother, why are you
besides
cutting
all
her
that,
off, Moses, man?
Is he lying, man?
No, man. Y'all gotta learn
besides
how to
all
hold your feelings, man.
besides all of that, brother, I know they mad, but this probably gonna make them even more mad. But everything that happened to our ancestors was political. In 1830, President Andrew Jackson forced the Indian Removal Act, and a lot of the Indians went to Oklahoma. So all the Indians that went to Oklahoma, you see their ancestors on the Dawes Roads. Like the brother said, there's more roads, but those roads only consist of the people that actually took the deal and went to Oklahoma. The Indians that stayed and refused to leave their homelands were subject to the state laws. So they imposed state laws on our ancestors that did not go to Oklahoma and then reclassified us. They only acknowledged us as being Indian if we went to Oklahoma. But if we didn't go, we had no protections. And that's why you always seen civil rights movements and things, because they were still fighting for our rights then with Martin Luther King. Now, I want to say this. Everybody, all the Indians that stayed were reclassified. The states, individual states would not acknowledge them as Indian because they weren't on the reservations. So what they did was reclassified us to colored. That was the first
And black.
reclassification. And then
remember, and there was eyes. Our
first,
grandparents had eyes on the census, and they would put beads and make it black.
okay. No, that's not how it goes. First reclassification was colored. Second, Negro. Third, mulatto. Fourth, black didn't come until the 60s with the James Brown movement.
Yeah,
that didn't even exist. Black or African American. As a matter of fact, black came before African American. African American didn't come until 1988. As far as the slave trade coming here, yes, they brought Africans, but not on the mainland where niggas is. Not on the mainland. They brought them to the Caribbean. So if any Africans did come to America, they came from in the islands onto the mainland. This whole land was nigger land, and that's very much so expressed in Benjamin Franklin's address of how many niggas that's over here. And I have all this information. But to do things really quick, the American Indians have common American Indian last names. And, you know, we spend a lot of years trying to get our people to understand who they are. Everybody decided that they were going to be Kunta Kinte because of the movie Roots. That's the first time people started identifying as being Africans, okay? Back in the 70s. When the 70s, if you called somebody black, and I'm a child of the 70s, you called somebody black, those was fighting words. Niggas was snatching their shirts off and everything. That's how they got down. We did not like that name, and to this date, we don't like being called black. Those were fighting words in our hoods across the 50 states. All right. So I want to show these brothers on the panel common American Indian last names. sa.neter, give me a share screen for a quick minute, sweetheart. So
can I say something real quick?
This is really quick for me. Let's look at these names. Look at these names. These are common American Indian last names. Don't look. All niggas got these last names. Smith, Johnson, Begay, Yazzie, Locklear. All these names. And you can look this up. I'm not making this up. Most common last names for American Indians and Alaska Natives in the U.S. We the only niggas with these names. People coming from Germany, and they don't got these damn last names. Their names be like Sharzeski and Sugaka and all that stuff. These are nigga last names. Facts.
Is Murray on there? Murray? Murray?
You can Google it. Matter of fact, it's so many of them copy.
Those are our names.
And I'm gonna put it in the back. I'm gonna put it in the back, and I'm gonna put it in the chat. So you can look.
Can I, yo, Si, can I say something real quick, dog? Can I? This is talking. Can I answer a question?
And I put it in the chat.
Can you hear me, Si? Can you hear me?
I don't know.
Right? Oh, I'm sorry. I can hear you.
All right. I was gonna say this, sis. Another thing. So in my research, right, tracing people back, names, the biblical names is ours too. John and Mark and stuff like that. That's our names too. Those are our names.
But that's not our book, bro. The Bible is not indigenous to the Americas.
That's not my point.
No, but that's my point, though. We got to be careful.
Listen,
we got to be very careful.
Listen, let me hear my play. Let me hear my play. Look, listen. What I'm saying is,
all right,
when you go through them old censuses, when you get to the 1700s and the 1800s, a lot of our grandparents' name was John and Mark. It was biblical names. That's my point. Yeah, when you go in the census, yeah, I even got one of my great grandfather or my grandmother on my father's side, her great grandfather name was Lazarus. I'm just saying. My point is, we might not. I'm just saying that. Just like those names, Johnson, Wilson, and all that stuff. I agree with you on that. I'm saying that those Czechoslovakians and those different people didn't have names like John.
Yeah, they ain't had them names.
Peter. That's my point. That's the only thing I'm saying, sis.
That's because they had different colonizers.
So all these last names, we are the only ones that carry these last names.
The only
Here,
ones.
these are common American Indian last names. Y'all keep saying you get these names from the slave masters. Come on. We gotta
We was
stop.
John's son. That's where Johnson come from. Because I was John's son.
That's one of the biggest names. Williams, this thing is huge. It's a huge database, and it's giving you the numbers. These are niggas that was all over here. Now,
so
I'm
they're
gonna share
not
one more
names,
thing
though?
because no, absolutely not. Absolutely
Like
not.
master names
I
that
want to
owned
share one more thing.
plantation, like Williams Plantation.
No, man.
A lot of the slave owners was Jewish. Let's keep that focus.
I just read the actual title to that whole database, and you can even find this on National Archives and Congress and the National Archive Library. Those same names. Those are American Indian last names, not slave masters. American Indian. I just showed you the title. It said American Indian. It said nothing about slave masters. Now,
How is it an American
the
Indian
next
name
thing
if
I
it's
wanted
in
to show
English?
you now.
This guy's
Man,
fighting.
sir,
He's fighting
that's
hard.
the thing. You think that we're not speaking our language. We're speaking our language. What
English
we're
is
not
our
speaking
language?
is
Oh my
excuse
God.
me.
Yo, Si,
Excuse me.
let me talk.
Am I going to be able to respond or should I shut it down? I'm going to be done real quick because I'm tired.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Finish
You got to understand, we are speaking our language. What we're not speaking, brother, is Old English. Okay? We made it common. When you look up the English language, there's over 10,000 Indian words in it. That's our whole damn language. So what they did was made it more comforting so that we can be able to communicate trade-wise. And today, y'all call it white boy professional wannabe white boy language, but it's really our language, brother. And that's the fact. We're not speaking Old English anymore. That's what it is. Let me tell you what Old English is. Old English is what they call Ebonics today. Because when we speak, all our words come together. We can say a whole sentence with a little word, and that's what they didn't like. Yeah, I mean, I just said, do you know what I mean just now? Yeah, I mean, that's Old English, brother. Ebonics. That was our language. If I'm saying, I don't feel like, I don't know about
Sorry, send it back.
Right now. I ain't with all that right now. That's a whole sentence. And they fixed it and said, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. That's a whole word. I don't know what you're talking about. So the white man came and said, all right, let's make common language so we can all understand it. You're saying, I don't know what you're talking about, right? I don't even know what you're saying. It's not like that. I don't know what you're saying. We don't speak Old English no more, baby. Now, the last thing I want to show you, I'm from Connecticut.
Send it back to
born
the
and
way.
raised.
Yo, D, relax, man. She got the last thing.
One more last screen, and I'm gonna let you know, niggas was here before anybody. We was always here. We're from this soil. Why is it that people with brown skin could be from anywhere on the damn planet except from the United States? Come on, we were here. These structures, old structures was here. We was already here. Y'all don't want to believe it. Get out of roots, and I'm gonna show you the Wanguk tribe in Connecticut. And this is the only statue on the riverfront in Middletown, Connecticut. That's a nigga. You see the cornrows, you see it. And this is the Wanguk tribe. Look up the Wanguk tribe. That's a nigga. These are cornrows in his head. That's a nigga with cornrows. And that's the only statue in that big ass riverfront where they do the fireworks every year. Niggas. People don't want to believe this stuff. This is a statue. You can look it up. I'll put the link in the chat. We got a lot of mulattoes in the north. That's because we mix with a lot of Europeans. So when a lot of Europeans be telling you that they Indian, you got to believe them, because a lot of them really didn't want to identify their self as being Indian. But a lot of white people who have more of their European features truly be having nigga grandmothers. They just pass.
All right, Sister Betty.
But I'm done right here. I'm done, sa.neter. That's just
all right.
I did something real
let's
quick.
go, man. Would you want to respond before I bring on my man Asa?
Yeah, so I was gonna say is, so I was gonna get to that the English language is our language. That's our language. That's our language, and we speak different dialects of English. Like like exactly what she said. Like for instance, if we're in New York, somebody might say, "Yo, let me get a bogey." That's a cigarette. But if you go to Chicago, they be like, "Hey, let me get a square." Everybody's speaking English, but we're using different words and different dialects. I was gonna say that, but that's good. I'm glad you landed on that. But yeah, so it's a beautiful thing not to be by myself. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I used to be on here by myself, battling with people. Got a whole bunch of fake Africans coming on here with red, black, and green wristbands on and all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Big beads and dashikis. I'm happy to have somebody here that you know. That's it. You can
All
send it to the
right.
next person.
Hey, I see you, Genesis. Let me go on over, and I got you. I see 3 people ain't speak. Kim Netta, 7 Asar, and Genesis. Let's go, 7 Asar.
Can you hear me, sa.neter?
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Peace to everybody on the panel, man. I'm not going to be on here long because there's a lot of misinformation that's going on in this show. And it's pretty sad. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of
Come on, y'all gotta let him go. Let him go. He ain't do that with y'all. He was quiet. I gotta let him go.
See, they laughing because they have an argument and they have a story, but they really don't have any sources or really no historical foothold in what they're saying. They're just doing a lot
I
of
just
commentary.
drop you sources.
And
you funny. You
you got it. You can't cut him off.
They're not gonna hear you, sis. None of these African dudes, these fake Africans, gonna hear
D,
you. So let them just talk.
D, man. Yo, D, you got to give them the respect they gave you. This brother gave y'all respect. He never cut none of y'all off. Let him go. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, 7.
And yeah, that's a sign of misinformation and not having a historical or scholarly foothold in the argument, because when people like myself and like the sister before who spoke on the misinformation they're disseminating and asked for clarity, like the sister said that those names were Indian names, and one of them was Smith, right? One of them was Smith. But we know the last name Smith originated in Anglo-Saxon England as an occupational surname, derived from an Old English word meaning to strike or to forge. And this can be verified. Those names she got on there are names because those Indian people were enslaved or took on European names, right? Because there was some assimilation with Indians here in America with Europeans. And the other brother talked about the censorship, but the other brother proved to him that we came here in 1619. First slave ship came here in 1619.
And you know why I can agree with you, Asar, on that? Asar, 7. You know why I can agree with you on that when you say the Indians took on some of those names? Know why I can agree with you? Because the Africans are doing it now. The Africans are doing it now. They are taking on those names in the American names. They're doing that right now.
That's
what
100%
Africans
correct.
are you talking about? Can you tell me?
I'm talking about the continental Africans. They come over here, and if you ask them their name, they'll say, "Yo, my name is Rob," and you looking at them like, "What? My name is David." What the? Because I always say to them, "What is your birth name? What's your African name?" And then they give me their name. So I know that for a fact. They do that. They take on the names of our people. Go ahead,
You're right. And I just want to talk about the fallacy of the brother's argument. He claims that there's no censor numbers for Africans, but we know the censorship didn't happen until almost 100 years after they arrived, and they were treated as property. So, you wouldn't put your cows on the censors list, right? You wouldn't put your chickens on the. That's how they looked at us. And there was only 12.5 million slaves that came.
Let him finish.
I want to ask him a question, sir. I just want to ask him a question.
Let him finish so we can be done with him. Just let him finish. Go ahead.
There's only 12.5 million slaves that came from America, and some of them came directly through the Atlantic to America, and some did first stop in the Caribbean. Some Africans first stopped in the Caribbean, and we have data on the Africans mixing in with the Taino and Indians in the Caribbean, as well as other people. So there's overwhelming empirical evidence that not only was there a transatlantic slave trade, that African, as he said earlier, there were some Africans who came here. So he concedes Africans were brought over here. He said a minute. I agree. There was a small amount of Africans compared to the Africans that were disseminated to Brazil and other parts of the planet. So I really don't have much to say because I'm disappointed in not only the misinformation, but also the African hate, right? And it's just deplorable to me. And I bid you all a good night.
All right. No, hold on, D. Hold on, D.
Can I respond?
Yo, Sai, you gotta let me respond to
Can I
these people,
respond?
bro. You gotta let me
Because he did mention my name.
I'm gonna let y'all respond, but you gotta let me go first. I'm the host, brother. Okay. And I'm gonna let you respond because this is your show, D. And then I see you, Betty, but I got people that didn't speak yet that I want to get in. And I want to draw everybody's attention to Amon Ra McCarthy's Summer Jam screen that I had, the $20 jam super chat. He said, the House of Consciousness respects all knowledge from all walks of life. Thank you, sa.neter, for allowing us all to have a voice. And I got to tell you, that's the truest comment that I have seen in years. And you know why?
That's real shit.
And you know why I can respect all walks of life information is because when you dealing with realismism and you ain't a part of nothing, like I'm not a Muslim, I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Kemet, I'm none of that. None of that. I'm just a free soul that's allowing all information to come through. That's when you can do that. But when you are a Muslim, you can bet you're going to have only Muslims on a channel. When you are a Christian, you can bet you're just going to have your channel going to just be about Christianity. When you are Hebrew, look at Tazariak's channel. Look at all the Hebrews. They are about the Hebrews. They're not trying to talk about Africans and all the other stuff. And you know what I'm saying? So when you are a free thinker, you allow everybody to get their information out because I'm not stuck to one way. Go ahead, Brother D. You got the floor.
All right. So, you know, the last brother that got on, like, so your determination of how you feel, what you feel the information is, like the sister just put information up there. He came right behind her, like, yeah, so Smith means so this is what happens in this community. Like, if you don't agree, then you don't agree, right? But people will give y'all information, and because of cognitive dissonance, right, you don't have the ability to be like, yo, you know what, that makes sense, or yeah, that's right. Somebody could put stuff in your face. I referenced the slavevoyage.org. If you look that up, you'll be able to see how minute and how very little you could check the ship logs. What y'all think happened didn't happen, and you could check the ship logs on the website. You could see these things, and instead of just acknowledging that, these people come back with the last dude said, yeah, and there's empirical evidence of Tainos and Africans mating. Like, because you said that with a certain tone in your voice, you think that makes you right, when there's plenty of information out here that lets people know what it really is. Like, I'm sure y'all see on your reels, I'm sure you see posts, I'm sure you're in all these conscious groups, you see the people putting out the information. So we're not crazy, we're not making this up. You're all of that. See, look, my goal wasn't to come on here and to flip y'all big B, wherever. That wasn't my goal. My goal was always to get the thinkers, like the people who have common sense. And I always did that. When I used to argue with Rob Bourne and all, and they go back and forth, and they're like, yo, in this book it said, I didn't have to do that. And I still made sense to people. That's why you have Dane Callaways today and all these people are putting out this information. That is the reason. I know what I'm saying makes sense. So if somebody comes behind me and just says, well, there's empirical data that says that the Tainos mated with Africans, listen, at the end of the day, they ship people around the Americas. That's why they called it the Middle Passage at first. They were shipping people from the Caribbean to the mainland, from the mainland to South America, from South America to the people were buying slaves, and it was Jews. The regular average white man was not a slave owner. So for that guy to try to say that Smith is a slave or a white people name, so he would then be saying that I guess essentially that black people took on a slave name by saying their name is Smith, because you're basically trying to say that that's a white name, when we all know that if you read history books, Britain, Scotland, Ireland, all these places have black people in them. The Danes, all those guys, those were black people. Those were black people. You ever read Ancient and Modern Britons, the book? There's, I think, 3 volumes. Those are black people. When you read those history books, those were swarthy people.
So you think Frank is a is a Indian name or a European name?
Like Frank, the first name Frank?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
That's the European name, man. My name is Frank Gary.
Yeah, listen,
Frank
that's what I'm
Gary,
saying.
brother. Those are European names, brother.
Listen, sir. The people that came here, the people
Indians
that
were named. Hold up. The brother, you saying that the Indians' name was Robert and Frank and Gerald and Gary? That was it.
I didn't say that. The sister put up information about last names, the Johnson and all that stuff. Those are our names. Johnson and Wilson and Davis.
No, but those are European names.
Sir, the Europeans that came here, name was Shakishli, and they had Italians, and they had, where did they come from, sir?
But not all Europeans had those names.
Sir, where did the countries that they brought the poor Europeans from, the Ellis Island and all that?
You know where they come from, but they didn't have all European. Of course, now like the Dutch, they didn't have those names.
The Dutch was one of the colonial powers. We're not talking about the Dutch when I'm talking about the poor people they were shipping over here.
Brother, the British came from England. They have English names.
Huh? Go ahead.
Hold on, King Jacobs. I thought I was next, man. I don't want you to jump in.
And then God Energy is trying to talk too.
Yeah, hold on.
I let whoever talk.
All right, go ahead. Kim Netta.
All right, peace to the panel. I just want to say, from what I hear, what they saying ain't really panning out when you actually look at the records, right? In 1501, it's a royal decree from Spain that go over the fact that they had Christianized Africans that was born in Spain, made them learn Spanish and all of that. And those West Africans, West and West Central Africans, were the only Africans in that decree that was allowed to come to the Western Hemisphere that they called the West Indies. So they took that first group in 1502 to Hispaniola. And then the second account of those people who were also Ladinos, they call them Ladinos, Christianized Africans. That account happened again in like 1503 after they escaped, because in 1502, the first group that got there, they escaped in 1503. Those Africans were never captured again. So they roamed free in the land after that. The next account of those Africans that they brought there was Ladinos actually escaped as well. Then they had the third arrival in like 1521, which was the Wolof Uprising Rebellion, where they had Africans that came directly from the continent for the very first time. They called them Bozales. Those Africans ran the uprising, burnt up everything, ran people out. After that, so I got to correct my brother Seven Asar, the first Africans that landed in North America was in 1526. They brought a group over here, and within the first 2 months, that group had an uprising, killed the people that were sick, and escaped into the land, which they got records that the Europeans who they whooped on attest that those people escaped freely and was never to be captured. A few of them got captured and decapitated along the road, so they made some example of the few people they did catch, but the rest of those Africans escaped. So I would just ask, if you telling me Africans wasn't in America, you have to show me before 1502 for South America or for North America before 1526 where black people that are us were already here, because we was not here prior to that.
Yo, Si.
Yep.
Yo, look, if I come on here and be like, yo, in 1789, John walked down the block, and in 1855, we know that the people went down there. What does that mean? What does that? If I come on here, right, and I go, in 1974, Jim went to Pizza Hut and he bought a pizza, so we know that the pizza had sauce on it. Like, yo, look, listen, let me tell you something. I've been doing this so long. When y'all come on here, I want y'all to come on here with stuff that's gonna like. So listen,
I can give you the
y'all
name
want
of the actual
y'all
records
want
if you
y'all
want to
want
read
y'all want
them.
listen, y'all want
I could
empirical
tell them to
evidence.
you right
Y'all
now. I
listen,
got them pulled up.
listen. Y'all want empirical evidence, right? You want to like step on that bound. I would say go on Dane Calloway channel and watch what he got going on. I could point y'all in the right direction for the people that's gonna hit y'all with books, stuff you can't argue with. Like
Bro,
you know
next
what
time
I'm
you
saying?
come on here, bring a source.
Who is that talking?
Me. Next
Hey,
time, bring a
Let me
next
see the face, y'all. Let me see the face, y'all.
King
next
James.
time. Next
All
time,
right,
bring a
come on. I
source.
just want to make sure. I want no. I just want to see what that was, Sha. I just want to see that was. All right. So listen.
Do you disagree with
Sha
the
know me.
records that
Sha
I
know me.
accounted though? Real quick, can I just ask you though? Do you disagree with the
I
records
don't.
that I just accounted from 1502 up to 1526 of those African accounts that was in America, South and North?
You said those African accounts. What African
Ye-
accounts?
Yeah, those people in those records are accounted as
What
Africans,
records? What
even
records? You saying
documented.
those records? What
I
records? What
just,
records? What
if
records?
you
What
want them,
records?
all right, hold on. I'm finna give them to you if you want the name. The first record is called the Royal Decree of the
Right
Crown of
here, man. Write it down, Dick.
Okay. It's called the
I'm not
Royal
writing that
Decree
garbage
of the
down.
Crown of. Okay, then what's the point? You don't even want to
I'm not.
know.
I want you to tell the people so they can listen to it.
It's the
Go.
Royal Decree of the Crown of Castile, the ordinance and the regulation of the importation of Christianized African Ladinos and the Indies. And then it's volume 418.
Man, I
That's
be
the first
So you're
account
saying
right
you're saying.
there.
I just want to know your
That's the
position.
first account
Are
in
you saying that?
1502 of Africans in America, South America specifically.
Look, bro, I just want to make sure I understand your position. Are you saying that you're basically your position is that there were no black people here. The Europeans brought all the black people from Africa. That's your position?
Yes, not directly from Africa, but some came from Spain and then later directly from the continent. Yes. But the very first account of Africans came with the Portuguese that was free, who came over here with Columbus, who were part of that crew. But we talking about people that was enslaved. Then the first accounts is going to be 1502 in South America, 1526 in North America. And between the Carolina coast and the Virginias, there was an uprising right there, and those African slaves escaped.
So let me ask you a question. So that whatever decree you said you just named, right? So are you saying that this is the first documentation? You're saying that documents the first time that black people were brought to the Americas? I
That's
just
the
want to be
first
clear.
documentation of Africans in any parts of the America, South or North, 1502.
All right.
Of
So
Africans
now
who were enslaved specifically, though. We talking about Africans who were enslaved. I already told you about the
you said
accounts who were free with the people who came over here with Columbus. We
I
ain't
just want
talking
to
about
make
those
sure.
people. We
I just
talking
want
about
to
the
make sure we
enslaved
clear.
group.
I just want to make sure we clear. You said these Africans were taken to Spain, taught Spanish, and then brought over here, correct?
Yes, they call them Ladinos, Christianized Africans. Look
All
up
right.
the word Ladinos and you'll find everything you need to know on them.
So look, let me ask you a question, brother. So I'd like to tap into the common sense. What does that have to do with us? You talking about the first Africans that was brought over here. I'm talking about us that been here. So what does them bringing at them documenting
I'm
Africans?
asking you, you would have to show me the separation between what you call Black Americans and what the records attest that those were the foundation of people who were later called Black Americans, who are Africans who were forcibly brought here. You have to show me records before these accounts where us Black people were here. The people that look just like us that you claiming is us were already here. You got to show me before 1502.
I can show you.
Listen, look.
Please show it.
Hold on, listen.
The
First of
sister
all,
has the best arguments
I
to this
look.
question.
I'm not here to argue. I never. You think sa.neter got me on this channel for no reason? I'm before all of these American. I've been doing this for a long time. You think Sa got me up for? I know that just as much as y'all gonna sit here and try to find holes in my story. There's plenty of people watching this that's like, word. Yeah, that make
But
word.
let
That
me
makes
say what
sense.
you sound like to me,
Word.
brother. The
Yeah,
old
I don't
stuff.
care what I sound like to you. I don't
But
care.
can I? Okay, never
I want
mind.
you to understand, and there's no disrespect. I'm saying that once I identify, right? When I let's say I'm in a cipher, we just kicking our knowledge, right? Let's say we on 125th, right? And everybody, you got the Israelites out there, you got Muslims out there, everybody kicking their stuff. Once I identify that somebody on some like we from Africa stuff, right? and especially when I see where they at in their consciousness of journey, right? Because that's the first floor. The first floor consciousness journey going up. The first floor is we from Africa RBG stuff. That's the first floor.
Do you deal with DNA?
Come on,
Do you deal with DNA?
same question.
No, he don't.
Can I
No,
get
he
in
don't,
here?
or he would know the top floor is
I've been
African
waiting.
instead of what
I've
he's
been
saying.
waiting to speak, y'all.
Listen, let me say something. Let me say something. The top floor. Listen, let me say something. Look, Africans copy over us. We created way more.
Yeah, that's in today
Stop.
time.
We've invented way more than Africans. We've made more of a contribution. If you take our listen, just the Black American, you take our last 300 years, and we've made more of a contribution to mankind than Africa's whole existence.
You feed trash to Africa.
That's not true. That's definitely not true. The Europeans,
Y'all are crazy.
the
Why y'all don't move
Europeans,
to Africa?
the Europeans went and studied Africa. Listen, the Europeans went and studied Africa for medicine and stuff like that to make what was in the Western world what it is. So you really tweaking, bro. You tweaking.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yo, can I chime in? Can I chime in, brothers and sisters?
Let me say something. The
sa.neter's not here to regulate. Can I chime in, brothers and sisters? I've been waiting for a minute.
I got you, but let me just land my plane. I'm out of here. Look, listen. My goal, right, is not to convince y'all of nothing. The next generation, all of the brainwashed people that think we from Africa, that won't go to Africa, right, won't move over there, want to sit here, all that's over with. I know y'all see our timeline.
Why would if we built this country? Why would we want to move if we built this country?
Kick the white supremacists out your country, and then we will move to Africa, bruh.
Kick the white. We're not trying to. It's not about kicking you. You have
If you want us to go to Africa, kick these white people out your land first.
Look, you have a free will.
Kick these white people out your land first, and then we'll go to Africa, bruh.
Look, hold
on. Hey Moses, don't be so loud. Don't be so loud, bro. Chill.
First of all, we fought, bro. We fought.
Right, as descendants of Africans. Right.
No, listen. If y'all look,
and the descendants fought.
Why don't
so I'm gonna jump in real quick just to chime in on the thing with the names.
That's funny.
Just to chime in on the thing with the names and the language. It's a lot of fallacies going on with the language aspect because we have a lot of last names like Campbell, Douglas, Carr, right? Farrell. These are last names amongst the brothers that I grew up with, like Farrell. There's these two brothers I know with the last name Farrell. Douglas, my best friend had the last name Carr growing up, and those last names specifically are anglicized Gaelic last names. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. These are like my name Nelson. I'm Irish last name.
These are not Native American. These are not Native American names, whether it be from South America or Plains Indians, North America. The language that these names come from. My last name is Davis, right? That comes from David. That comes from David's son, right? These are anglicized English. These are Anglo-Saxon last names. Davis comes from David's son. Yes, it does, right? It's not a indigenous last name. An example of Native American words are words like Skiliona,
we're not Native Americans. There's a difference,
right? Or
you saying that?
Wait.
Hold on. You're calling us something that we're not. We're not Native American.
He waited for a long time. Let him land it. Let him land it.
We have to have.
So let him land it.
We don't identify
decorum.
Okay, you can respond after he land though.
Can we have decorum?
Let the brother God energy finish. Everybody was able to. Let him finish. Whether you agree with him or not, just let the man finish.
So examples of a word that you would say are Cherokee Indian words, right? I'm using the quotations because we know that's just a English way, right? Words like Allegheny or Skiliona, right? These are examples of those indigenous American words. Or if you want to go to South America, words like Popol Vuh, right? Which is their sacred text. These are examples of those types of indigenous American words, which are very different from the English and Gaelic words that we see as our last names that come from via Europeans. So when you try to make these names the same, it's a linguistic fallacy. Also with the genetics, we carry a lot of African haplogroups, the E haplogroup, the A haplogroup, Genetically, we are not the same as the Native Americans who carry the haplogroups like C and X, right? So when you get down to the linguistics, when you get down to the genetics, this argument definitely falls apart. We are firmly rooted in an African heritage. My question to the brother is, do you have a source on the El Marica thing? Because I missed your presentation. So I would like to hear what the source was for the El Marica claim, since a lot of people are up in arms about that. Could you just repeat for me, because I missed your presentation? What was your source?
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Not the claim. What was the source for El Marica?
Listen, I don't want to go over that again. What I will say is, right? Well, again, I talked about genetics. I talked about genetics an hour ago with Unc. I know I made sense. He agreed with me on certain stuff we didn't agree on. But I know what I said makes sense. I know. Like, I know it made sense. I know people with common sense, it will land, right? Now, when you got your mind made up on something, anything somebody says contrary to what you believe, you're gonna fight against it. That's cognitive dissonance. I respect it. I understand, y'all. Listen, it's hard if you've been pushing this all your life thinking you African. It's hard. I know it's hard to accept this. I know it's hard. And I don't agree with everything the sister said. We didn't agree on everything. I agree with a lot of stuff she said, but we didn't agree on everything. The last names, I do agree that those are black names. Those are black people. You won't find those in. Yes. You know, Irish were on plantations with us, right? Well, you know, a lot of us married some Irish people, right? A lot of black people mixed and married with Irish people. So it wasn't Irish people wasn't the slave owners, the slave masters. It was Jewish people. Y'all got to get that shit out your head. That regular white people were slave owners.
Well, a lot of those last names black people brought with them from Ireland. So that's not what I was speaking about. I'm speaking about they are not Native American is all.
Nah, but
That's what I'm
I
saying.
talked about black people being in Scotland, Ireland, or in Britain. Didn't I talk about this already? The Ancient and Modern Britons. If you read those books, all 3 volumes. If you read those books, black people we've been these places. That's not a dispute. What I'm saying is, y'all give way too much credit and credence to Africa.
Well, it's because look, it's stuff like this that exists. You got to look at the 1000 Genomes Project, right? You check that out. They broke it down extensively. You look at the Tiskov project. They broke it down extensively. If you look at the HBS sickle cell trait, it can show you how it's the same thing that you West Central Africa. You got the Schumlacher study that show you the same thing. And then if you go even just a little further, you can look into what's the other one? Dang, the name's slipping my mind. But yeah, it's so many studies out there. And I don't think y'all really looking at it if you're talking about y'all dealing with DNA and all that too. Y'all just can't be.
All right, so look, again, with DNA, right? The reason, so look, when you and I said this 100 times, well, I'm gonna touch it again. So with DNA, right? And are you familiar with the American Colonization Society?
Yes.
All right. You know that in the 1800s that they sent tens of thousands, the numbers between 13 and 20,000. So I'm gonna say tens of thousands, or we could just say thousands, like me and Unc agreed to earlier. If you want to say thousands, that's fine. I like to say tens of thousands because it's more than 10,000. Were shipped to Africa. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that? Did that happen by way of the American Colonization Society? Yes or
Yeah,
no?
you have people that was African American by that time that was sent from America to Africa.
Forget
Yes.
African American. I'm saying black people from America were sent.
I'm telling you, those black people were African American that they sent to Africa. You don't want to use the term, but that's who those people were.
All right, so yeah, let's use colloquial terms. So what people refer to as African Americans, black people from America, that's fine. However you want to word it, but we do agree that they were sent to Africa, correct? They were shipped.
Yeah,
to
I
Africa,
just said
correct?
that some Africans that were in America were shipped back to Africa. Yeah.
Yo, listen. If we gonna keep it real, we gotta keep it real. We gotta keep it real. The American Colonization Society sent black Americans to Africa. Don't try to mix it up.
Are you talking about Liberia?
Hold on. Everybody don't jump in.
There we go. That's one
No,
place that
hold
was
on,
founded by
D,
black
D.
Americans.
That's why, D, sources are important.
Hold on.
Because if you can bring sources, no, hold on, listen to me. This is important, bro. This is why sources are important, D. Because people ain't gonna just believe you. You got to be able to source up.
Look, I don't want nobody to just believe me. I'm gonna put the information out there, and is y'all could either find me wrong or not. The American Colonization Society took people to black people to Africa. We founded places like Liberia. We helped found Sierra Leone and other places on West Africa. Government like helped form the countries. We helped form the governments. We did, Black Americans. All right. Do you think in 200 years black people stayed in one place, or we might have had sex with people from over here? We made it with people from over here. We moved around. You think we stayed in one place?
We migrated, and yes, we have sex with all kind of people. Yes,
that's why when people go get DNA tests, then you see it's 2% here, 3% here, 2% here, 3% here, because we moved around, not because we are there. My best friend is really African. One of my best friends. He's from Ghana. His name is Kwaku. His name means Wednesday. You heard? He's from the Ashanti tribe. I can tell you all
and
about
I agree that some Black Americans share.
Hold on. Because I don't want to keep going back and forth. Me, myself, this is one of the brothers that I said I had to unblock today, because they blocked him. I seen his name in the block. So I unblocked him today. I'm glad he back. And I want to go to my sister Genesis, because I believe she is very underrated. Y'all not giving this sister her props, but she comes in and she goes in on the history. So without any further ado, Sister Genesis, you got the floor, sis.
Can you show my screen right quick?
Yep.
All right. So there was a time, right, when the Roman Empire and like the Kemetic Empire, they all worked within each other. They all like kind of worked together, and Kemet, they migrated back and forth. And then there was like this exile that kind of happened, and then people came down in the southern Sudan, across Africa, and into like West Africa, right? And then there's this weird thing that happens. I'm not sure if you guys heard of either. There's like different people that actually say that prior to Columbus and prior to the slave trade, there were Africans that actually sailed across America into America prior to
Abu Bakr.
Right? There's that, yeah, Abu Bakr, right? So
his name is Muhammad ibn Qua.
Okay, but here's a question I have to ask. Okay, would we be more prone to believe that us Africans came just sprouted out from the ground into America, just out of nowhere, or that there was a group of people that migrated and then were able to seafare into the Americas, or did we come from China across the Bering Strait, and just walk across, because these were Africanoid people, because if we just say we can't, people did not just sprout out the ground. And if that's the case, that means that we would have had time to build a civilization in America. And then when Columbus would come over, he would then see civilization. I'm just asking the question, is that because it seems like that people are just like saying, okay, no, we were already here. How? Like were we plant-like creatures that like kind of came up out of, just like materialized? Or was there this whole migration, that happened across because of people were fleeing and people eventually like left and came to America? And then I also want to get into the Caribbean and how most Caribbeans, they will trace themselves back to Africa. And a lot of Caribbean people were brought to America during the slave trade, because I think that what people are thinking is that that people came direct from West Africa direct to North Carolina somewhere. A lot of slaves went to the Caribbean first, and then came to America.
I'm gonna come.
Because we're only, but I think this is way deeper than just the slave trade.
Yeah, like 10 minutes.
People migrating over to America. So I just wanted to ask the question of like, how do you think that we did? Let's not say that we just sprouted up. How did we get here?
All right.
Just talk about that.
Hold on. Betty, I'm letting Betty go next, but I want to say, I want to ask the people a question. I want to ask the people that's all in the chat, that's up on the panel, a question. Why I have not received any goddamn cash apps yet? That's the question I want to ask, man. With this great work I'm pulling in, I'm out here. Why I haven't received the goddamn cash app yet, man? I still love you, I know. I still love you. But why I didn't get no goddamn cash app yet? I didn't get no, come on now. We got to do better, family. We got to do better. We got to do better. Go ahead, Sister Bethy.
So I agree with the sister when she said about the Africans coming from Africa to the Caribbean. That is accurate because we actually found records where they literally label them as Africa. Those that came straight from Africa to the Caribbean, it's on their census sheet under the former British records in Jamaica.
You're saying that they're considered Africans?
Yeah, and like you said that they even trace themselves back to Africa because their census sheets said so. So I'm saying I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree.
No, I was asking
also,
because I didn't know about that census thing.
Yeah, the former British records. I showed it on my live a couple of times. I think I showed it on sa.neter once, and also the in the Caribbean, we have to remember that there were indigenous people in the Caribbean. When I say Caribbeans, I say Jamaica and Puerto Rico and Cuba, all those Caribbean islands. They were niggas there first. They were already there. They were indigenous. They were the Arawak Indians. Arawak and Taino.
But did they migrate from Africa into that area?
No,
or
absolutely.
So how
not,
did they get
sister.
there? How
absolutely not.
Yo,
America
crazy.
is the oldest. America, whether you want to believe it or not, is the oldest civilization. We have the oldest bones here. We have the oldest pyramids here, and that's been proven. Like I said, this was last minute for me. Everybody thinks that Africa is the motherland. I don't believe that, and I'll never believe that. I sa.nd on my country.
Are there are the oldest bones
in
in America or the oldest bones in Kenya?
Yes, absolutely in America.
Because I heard the oldest archaeological found bones were in Kenya.
Actually, they're in America. We're the oldest civilization. All our structures were. First of all, the Christopher Columbus story is fake. All the structures here were here before anybody came because we built them. And that's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing that you want to believe. And no, I did not make that up. Secondly,
because we don't have Negroid bones in America until after 1492.
Sir, brother, can I speak, brother?
Yo, I know I don't like everybody cutting in, man. Every time I get up and go, I come back, y'all cutting in.
I'm gonna do the last share screen, and because I'm not gonna fight with anybody. I don't hate Africans. First, I want to put that out of it. But I'm not going to identify with the people that I'm not. And if you want us to respect that you're Africans, that's fine. But you got to respect that we're Americans, is what I'm saying. You don't want to believe it because you see a lot of white people. But
remember, we're more alike than different.
I just want to share this. sa.neter, and then I'm out. I will not fight Pan-Africans. I will not fight Pan-Africans. I say let them be who they want to be. So, all right. When we talk about oldest tribes here in America, we got the Pequots. They're old. This is the chief. All right. These are Pequots. All right. They niggas and white people. When you see them mixed because they're mulatto. But the Pequots is niggas. All right. Pequots, they own Foxwoods. Niggas own Foxwoods. All right. These are Pequots. He's a senator, representative in Connecticut. He's a Pequot Indian. Y'all don't want to believe niggas. This is nigger land. There's nothing else I can show you. I'm the only one on the panel besides this sister recently showing something. Y'all ain't showing nothing. And guess what? His last name.
But hold on. Can I ask a question? Could the Pequot be the people that were African? No, listen. I'll be done.
No, they're not Africans. They're not
Let me
Africans.
just close
they
out.
do not identify as Africans.
They couldn't have been the ones that came over earlier, like Mali.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No,
ma'am. B, as soon as you finish, you close out, and then that's it.
She said, I'm actually done saying that. It was nice talking to you, brother. Y'all all on the panel. Have a wonderful day.
Peace, sister. Go ahead, D.
All right, so look, Everybody keep bringing up the fact that I'm not sharing stuff. There's enough information out there. Y'all go on your timeline, y'all gonna see people sharing information, census stuff, historical records, all that stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm not here to. I'm not trying to teach you. That's not my goal. My goal is to tap
You're
into
not here to teach them.
No. This is what I'm saying. Listen to my point. Listen to my point,
Go
sir.
ahead,
I'm
brother.
saying that. I'm saying that my goal it's the same as it always been, sir. How many you ever saw me bring up a PowerPoint presentation, sir?
Yes. You did a slideshow before on my channel.
No, I didn't. I
Yes,
never
you
did.
did, bro.
Sir,
You don't remember. I'm gonna go
listen.
back and get that, brother.
Sir, look. I'm
When you and
telling
Rob
everybody
Ball was
now.
going at it, bro.
Sir, listen. I was going off the top.
Oh,
He
wow.
was referencing books. I wasn't doing that. I never have to do that. I don't gotta do that. I don't have to do that. My goal is always to tap into the common sense. There's gonna be people that's watching this right now, and they might feel a little pressure from the fake Africans to be like, yo, yeah, you know what? We are African. They might feel that pressure. I never feel that pressure. I don't have to come on here with books and stuff because there's enough information out there. It's way too much information out there for y'all to still believe that y'all African. And the only thing you're gonna be able to do is keep regurgitating garbage, like saying stuff that's people used to saying. Like people are normal. They people just been regurgitating for generations. All that's first floor consciousness. You still on the first floor. The RBG stuff, first floor. All that stuff back to Africa, first floor. Wearing dashikis and big beads on your neck, first floor. All that stuff is first floor consciousness because you feel that obligation. You feel an obligation to say you're African, but you're not African. The sisters share stuff today. A few people share stuff. What I shared was common sense. What I shared was a link for you to trace your family. What I shared, right? What I shared is I threw something out there that people never heard before. But there's people that heard me say that 10, 15 years ago, Almerica. Where's the source, brother? Source is common sense. The source is common sense. You would rather believe that America is named after Amerigo Vespucci, a person that never been here. Amerigo Vespucci, who never been to America, never stepped foot in the Americas. You would rather believe that because that's what you've been taught. But I don't hold that against y'all. That's why I don't try to convince fake Africans. I don't when I go in the cipher and we kicking knowledge and kicking our standpoint and our point of view. Once I identify the fake African, I don't even concentrate. I'm not even listening to him. I don't because you can't convince those guys. The next generation is here. The next generation is here. When I was doing this 10, 15, 20 years ago, nobody was they was looking like I was crazy. I was arguing with Muslims. I'm arguing with Moors. I'm arguing. All these people looked at me like I was crazy. Now today, we got thousands of people on the internet pushing the same thing. They know who they are. It's not up to me to tell you who you are. You asking me what tribal affiliation I'm in or where I'm from, that doesn't help you find out who you are. When I asked the brother earlier, he was kicking a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo about Africa and all this stuff. I asked him who his favorite characters was, right? And he told me, and then I asked him what his great grandparents' name was. He couldn't answer the question. He hit me with some Google answer, talking about look up the Liddy family. And I'm like, yo, don't tell me Google, tell me who your family is. And this is what I deal with on a regular basis. You're gonna run into these people who can quote you stuff that they heard on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that they read in Babylon and Timbuktu and all them garbage books. But you know what happens when you put them in a corner and ask them, do they know about their own history? They let me look it up. They could tell you about Khufu. They could tell you about all of these different pharaohs and all this stuff, but they can't tell you who they are. I can tell you who I am. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. I can tell you my family names. If you can't tell me your family names, you can't tell me about some African king. I don't want to hear that. If you can't tell me about yourself, knowledge of self always been the point. From when the gods was running the show, right? Knowledge of self is the point. Knowledge of self. Who are you? You could tell me who these African people are, but who are you? I can tell you who my African friend is. I can tell you his tribal affiliation. I can tell you all these things. But who are you? Why are you the only person in the planet that they erased?
Bring it out, D. Bring it out.
Why are you the only person on the planet that they erased your history? Why is that? Why is that? Because you were African, right? Why is that? Why are you here? Why is the world here? Why does the world copy off of you? Why? Why do you make things cool? Why have you invented everything on the planet? Why? Because you African, right? So they pick the finest of that, the most athletic, the fastest, the smartest, the most with the most human ingenuity.
D,
That's
I
what they
gotta
did.
ask you this, D.
Go
So
ahead.
a child that's listening to you speak right now jumps up here and say, "Excuse me, sir. Can you show us a source that states what you're saying?" What you gonna tell that baby? What you gonna tell that child?
There's plenty of information out here. I don't have to
Oh
prove. I
nah,
don't have to.
brother,
Hold
nah,
on, look. No,
bro.
son, listen.
Oh.
Son, look, listen. Son, look, listen. There's a such thing as overkill, right?
Shouldn't you be able to guide her to what or him?
You know what I would do?
What book to go
I would
get?
say, if you want, listen, if you want, look, listen, if you want, I would say though, if you want that type of, like, you want somebody to spell it out for you and show you maps and paperwork and
Yeah.
documentation, go to Dan Calloway channel. I will
Nah,
refer her to
brother. Come
somebody.
on, man.
I
Nah,
will
Dane
refer her to
Calloway is
somebody.
not a source, brother.
Listen. Dan Calloway, people like that provide sources. I've been on your channel 100
No,
times.
he's biased. He'll provide sources that only apply with what he's saying.
But that's the same thing that an African will do. All these fake Africans got up here and they came here with African sources, and this person said this and the African said this. Every fake African got up here and quoted some African stuff. Every single one of them quoted something from Africa. So what would be the difference between Dan Calloway quoting his
No,
information?
I
I just
didn't.
gave one
I
example.
referenced Native American words: skiliona, Allegheny, Popol Vuh.
I use common sense to knock your argument down. You know why? Because there's different tribes. Everybody didn't speak the same language. You're talking like it's a monolithic thing. You talking like it's like everybody spoke the same.
No, it's just
These are
no. It
Indian
was just
words.
English is English,
examples.
bro.
But
English is
no. D, in order to knock his statement down, you have to source it.
Hold
You
on, time out.
can't
He
just
didn't give no
say it.
sources. He verbally said something.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
responded. So my point is, what I'm saying is,
The
you giving
Popol Vuh is a
examples.
source.
Listen. You give examples of you giving examples of what you call in Indian
A
words, and
primary.
I'm saying
The
there are
Popol
different
Vuh is a
tribes.
primary.
Everybody, listen. In order for you to say these are Indian words, you would have to be assuming that all the tribes spoke the same language.
Great point.
And I already
No,
covered
no.
dialect.
I said those are examples. I just said those are examples, and I gave one example from North America from a dialect up there, and then I went to the Popol Vuh for
All right.
South America
So
just for examples.
way before that, when I said that English was our language, I said that we speak different dialects. So somebody in New York might be like, "Let me get a cigarette," or "Let me get a bogey," and somebody in Chicago will say, "Let me get a square," which all means, "Can I have a cigarette?"
But
Can I
none
ask
of
a
those are
question?
Native American words.
Can I ask a
You
question?
are the Native American. That's my point.
If English is the
But
Native
just because
American
we
language,
say
how
it
does
doesn't make
English
the
then
word
now
Native
become
American.
England's language? Did we go to England and did we
All
did we
right,
take
all right,
ships when we were
everybody,
here in
hold
England?
on. I got to go to Kim Netter. He had his finger up for a long time.
That the sister just asked a good question,
No,
son.
no. Kim Netter first. Kim Netter, you got the floor.
I think what the brother just said was like highly disingenuous because these be the same people that tell you should get up on the knowledge. You need to go learn the knowledge, but then they'll gatekeep what they consider to be the truth when a nigga asks them for a source. So I think that that's like a whack answer to give. But to Genesis, I want to say in your example that you gave for the people who might have made it here first as Africans who sailed here, there are accounts that they sailed out twice, 200 ships, second time, 2,000 ships, but we don't have the accounts that they landed or made it to anywhere in South or North America.
You
So
talking
I
about Abu
agree that they
Bakr, right?
attempted. No, his name is actually Mohammed Ibn Quad. That name has been corrected in the history for so long, and people just keep calling him that. So
You the
you
first
just
person
you
I ever
just
heard
got it
say that.
wrong.
I'm gonna look into it, but thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, his name is Mohammed Ibn Quad. But yeah,
There's no
those
boats
are
actually
yeah,
here
that's what I
from when
said.
the other people when the slave trade. Are there still boats of the slave trade?
But there's like no type of accounts, no DNA, no bodies, no archaeological
There actually is.
accounts.
They
It's like
found golden they found
All right,
golden like
so look,
spearheads in I think in certain
no, but
parts.
they
Yeah,
they
it was
tested
Puerto
those
Rico.
y'all don't
spearheads.
think about
Yeah, but
the
they tested those. They
Smithsonian.
was called. Hold on, real quick. They tested those. It was called guanine. It wasn't found to be native to Africa.
All right, so
No,
look,
Algonquin is a native
listen,
language that we spoke.
listen, y'all don't factor in the Smithsonian Institute. Y'all don't factor in these institutions that listen. The narrative has been guided. There's a reason so many of our intelligent brothers is wasting their intelligence studying Africa. Because that's what they want you to do. They don't want you to study here. They don't want you to know your history. They don't want you to know why the world copies you. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know you're the special person. So you hold on to this stuff. At the end of the day, look, let me say this. So I'm about to close out. Because I said I'm being repetitive. All I'm gonna do is be repetitive. My goal is the same thing as my goal always is.
Hold on. But
Let him
before you
finish.
leave,
Genesis.
what about English? I want to know about the English language. I want to know about the English
I want him
language
to
real
close
quick.
out, Genesis.
Can you
I want
address
him to
that? Can
close
you address
out.
the English language?
Genesis. I want him to close out.
I just want to close out. Look, listen. I already said what I said. I put the information out there. That now, if y'all want book stuff, I can refer y'all to people who gonna break it down for y'all word for word and this and this treaty and all this stuff and all this stuff. Y'all gotta think about what was done, right? Victory. The story is told by the victor. The story is always told by the victor. All of us are using little bits and pieces of the story that was told to us by the victor. That's what we're doing. So when y'all referring these books and this happened, we got to think about it. We dealing with Jews. You think that regular white people put you in bondage. You that's what you think. You imagine the regular white guy that walks down the street is the one that had people in bondage. It's the Jews, and they've always controlled finance and information. Those are the two things that they rule with. No matter what country they go to, they rule with finance and information. And those were the rulers of the colonial powers. France, Portugal. You think, how did all these countries, these different foreign countries, the European countries get together and run down on the same places at the same time? What was their tying factor? It wasn't that they was white. It was that the Jews, just like the Jews could get America to bomb Iran, they was able to do the same thing back in the days, and historically they always been able to do that.
Nah.
They could get the Spain to attack you. They could get Portugal to attack. Those was the Jews. They was running shit. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. So the victory and the story told goes to the victor. That's period. And the people who run your school system, you know why you got more Jewish holidays. Your kids got more Jewish holidays off than they do regular American holidays. Do you know why? You know why? You know why your kids got to learn about Anne Frank? You know why? You know why? You know why your kids got to learn about Germany and the Holocaust? You know why? Because the same people that ran shit back in the days is the same people that run stuff now. The same exact people.
Niggas.
The same exact people. Same exact people. So y'all are looking over there in the West, and y'all need to be looking here for what happened here. A lot of
Yeah, you
y'all are
conflating a
intelligent.
lot of stuff though.
Listen.
Can
A
you
lot
let
of
him
y'all are, a
finish?
lot of y'all are,
Let
look,
him
a lot of
finish.
y'all are intelligent. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like you're wasting your intelligence. That's my opinion. I've told the smartest people, the biggest names in consciousness, the same exact thing. Bigger than all of y'all on these squares. I don't even know none of y'all. But bigger than the biggest names, I've stood in front of them and told them that the same African mumbo jumbo, same thing you see me saying here, the same BS history, I say it in their face. I say the same exact thing. So what I want y'all to do is just do your own research on your own people. Go to familysearch.org. Start there. Go check your family records. Go check your public family records. There's birth certificates, marriage certificates, all type of stuff on there. If your family members have public information out there, and I'm talking about going back to the beginning of the census, to this, you go. There's people that trace themselves back. They go away in the 17s already. The early 18s, 17. You can trace as long as they've been doing the census since 1789. You can trace your people back. You can trace your people back. You could trace your people back. This whole shit was to erase you. They took your land. They gave white people land. Homestead Act and all these different acts. People is on your land right now. They did all these different things. Every single thing down to the COVID test. When they did the COVID test, they was marketing it to you. The first person to get the COVID test in New York City was a black woman. I don't know about nowhere else, but they was marketing it to black people. Every time they was talking about COVID, they was showing black people in the commercials. You know why? Because they was marketing it to you. Just like they market Africa to you. They come out with a slave movie every couple of years to reinforce the bullshit, the BS. Roots is a stolen story. It's so many people in the conscious community that don't know that Roots really is written by a white man. The name of the book was The African. A lot of people don't even know that, and they will reference Roots and think Roots is the Bible. You are not all the Django, all these things that get you to think about you being a slave and you coming from somewhere you don't come from. Everything is to reinforce it and to attack you. Whether the propaganda is put out for other people to have an image on you, because you know they paint you as they paint you as a monkey, a gangster, you gonna rob people, you a rapist. That's what everybody see us as on TV, and they come over here and they look at you like you crazy because of propaganda. It's the same exact thing. So the same people that was brainwashing white people before they got here in the 1800s about you is the same people that brainwashed the Chinese people that look down on you and then shoot you down like a dog, right? And they get away with it because they all see you the same. You are the enemy. Everybody hates you, including the Africans you want to be. Everybody hates you, black man, regular black man, American black. Everybody hates you, including the Africans that you want to be. All of y'all don't, from all of the top teachers to the people trying to get on, that's trying to be. Oh, I know. Out of the, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of the 6 or 7 squares that are not mine, I know half of y'all wish that y'all could blow up and be like some big conscious name in the conscious community. I know all of y'all hoping that y'all get big. This ain't about that, because if I wanted to do that, I did it a long time ago. I'd have been on Shot Channel a million. This ain't about that. It's about you knowing who you are. At the end of the day, FamilySearch.org, y'all. Go check your family out. Don't listen to these fake Africans trying to push the same regurgitated points out, saying the same things over and over, trying to discourage you from listening to your grandparents. Your grandmother told you who you was. She didn't tell you was no damn African. Your grandmother told you. Your grandfather, your grandparents knew who they was. They knew who they was. The Bible was your family pictures, the book of pictures. If you go back in time, your family called the Bible. That was the pictures of your family, all the pictures and documents of your family, your lineage. That's what a Bible is. That's what your Bible is. That's what you are. Your history is here. Look into it. I'm not here to convince y'all. I'm here to spark it. Let me look at. Let me see. You know what? Let me go to Free Family. Let me go to FamilySearch.org. Start there. That's what I want y'all to do. Look at your history. Y'all gonna run into people that know all of this stuff about Africa and can't tell you nothing about their own family history. And that's the majority of the time you're gonna be running into people like that. Yo, with that, I say peace. I know I sparked something tonight. You know how I know? Because 15 years ago, when I was by myself, arguing with Rob Bourne and all these guys on 125th, they citing books and in this book on page 338. Now look where we at. Thousands of people on social media every day posting the information about us being Americans. That's what it was about. It never was about me trying to look smarter than y'all. Y'all gonna beat me every time at that. Citing books and like garbage. Y'all gonna have stuff to cite. Because they put a whole bunch of garbage out there for y'all to reference to say y'all from Africa. That was on purpose. But y'all will never back me in the corner. You can't. I've been doing this a long time. I don't have to bring books up here. I'm here talking to your intelligence. I'm talking to
Nah,
your common sense.
you
That's it.
outdated, brother.
All right.
Whatever.
And with that,
Listen,
thank you,
and with
D.
that, I say peace, Si. I love you,
Peace,
Si. I'm
brother.
gonna send you something, Si.
My man. Peace, brother.
Peace.
Pseudoism.
All right. Kim Netta, you had your hand up for a minute. Go ahead, brother.
No, that's Moses. That's Moses. I had went already.
No, that was you. But
No,
anyway,
Yeah, you
no,
had
it
called.
was
You
me.
called on me. You called on me already when I had my hand up. It was Moses next.
I'm trying to roll out, sa.neter. I only got 3 slides, man. I was trying to respond to them, but y'all obviously you protecting your friends, man. But okay, so I just want to address what she said and what he said. Right, first she said she kept trying to say that niggas was here, talking about here in the United States, right? So people like me that study the Kushite history, Ethiopia is in Kushite territory. It tells you right here where the word come from. The word niggas primarily means king or ruler in the Ethiopian Semitic languages, historically used as a royal title for the sovereign of Ethiopia. Now, while y'all reading the rest of that, what I wanted to say is that he is acting like he said something about white people, something about the to the victor, or the victor controls the information or whatever. But if I'm not mistaken, it is white folks that told us that the first bones come out of the Ethiopian territory. So if white people are controlling the information, why are they telling us that the first bones come out of African territory and they don't even come out of African territory?
Damn, Moses, I'm rocking with you for the first time. Yeah.
Hey, so maybe the reason why they calling us niggas is because it's a reminder to them that they conquered one of the most greatest civilizations on earth. That's probably the real reason why they calling us niggas. So,
all right, Moses.
All right, so now let's go to the next slide. She gonna both him and her talk about Africans don't even rock red, black, and green. Man, there's red, black, and green flags, banners all over their countries. Why they gotta wear a little reminder on their wrist? I have to wear that reminder to remind me of where it is that I'm connected to. And the main reason why I do that is now to the last slide, and I'm gonna land with this. The reason why I wear my red, black, and green is because of the elder that I follow. And I believe that the elder chose the red, black, and green because he knows that all over Africa, there's the banners of red, black, and green flags flying. So to show solidarity with the family on the continent of Africa, this is the reason why we rocking the red, black, and the green. The red representing the pure bloodline. The black representing the color of our ancestor skin. Because when you pure bloodline, when you're not mixed with no foreigners, you are a shade of the universe that created you. And the green represents the land of Kush that we used to rule, where the greatest dynasty or where the greatest empire ever existed. So that's why we got the red, black, and green. So I'm gonna leave it at that, man. You know, for them to sit up there and say the Africans don't even rock that, they don't even like Africans. How they even gonna speak on anything about Africa, bro?
Moses, you got me rocking with you on that, Moses. I'm gonna give you your point.
All right, my man, Dazali, what up, brother?
What's up, sir? I had to wait till the brother leaves so I can come back, and hopefully myself and some of the other people will clean up some of the things that him and Sister Betsy put out. Because this is quite dangerous stuff. Just like the brother said, we can see what their plan is. They don't care about us. They want to make our kids stupid. Imagine your kids trying to go get professional jobs and they think that people popped out the ground like damn mushrooms. This is dangerous. And he laid down the plan that they had. They want to entrap our kid. For their sources, they're going to use TikTok. Go to this person's TikTok page. This person who dropped out in the fourth grade, go to their TikTok channel. We can't get and then the brother likes to him, not just him, but a lot of other flaming pseudos. They like to bring about that you can't trust the white man's sources. They trust the white man's source every day when they operate this cell phone, this laptop, that car that they drive, their fridge full of
that's
food.
Our technology. That's not their source, though.
Well, we went through their educational system to make that, and we use their resources to make that.
Well, a lot of it,
but we're not going for that. We're not going through that.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Don't cut nobody off, y'all.
Yeah. But dang, where the heck I was going with it? But then
you was on the technology. I was just helping them outside.
Got you. Their scholarship is basically trust me, bro. Oh, I also wanted to touch upon Albert Perry. They still like to use Albert Perry when even our dear brother Jabari debunked that a long time ago. Going even deeper, I briefly skimmed over it. It's really nothing to be proud about. Do we actually know what him having that chromosome means? Him having that sequence simply means that his ancestors were still having relations with what we would classify as archaic hominids. That's all it means. That's all it means. But yeah, all right, I fall back. We really need to clean this up later, so really clean it up, because he's not gonna let anyone push back. They just want to get up here, proselytize, and recruit people. They're here to recruit people. That's all. But yeah.
All right. Hey, Kim Netta, I gotta apologize to you, brother. Hello?
I'm listening. What happened?
Yeah, I gotta apologize to you, brother. I slept on you, man. I really slept on you, but I heard it tonight that you know what you be talking about, brother. you know your history, you know your science, you know your thing, man. But I really heard it tonight, though, you know.
I told you, sir, I wrote a whole book on the African diaspora, man. It's called By Way of Sea.
Because I slept on you, brother. You damn sure know your stuff. Let me go to me myself, man. Me myself. What up?
Yeah. What's good, fam? What's good, OG? Hey,
all right.
Shout out to the panel. Shout out to everybody. I just need 2 minutes for my 2 cents. All right, check it. Christopher Columbus did for sure type in, I say type in, but he wrote that they gave him a golden spear, and those people look just like us, like the people that was over in Africa. So we were here before Columbus got here. Now, I'm not saying that we spawned out the dirt or out the water like evolution tells us in science and class from K through 12. They tell us that we came out the water. What's the difference in believing people? I know people argue like we didn't come out the dirt everywhere where there's dirt, but they say we came out the water and there's water everywhere. So either you believe them all the way 100% or you don't, which I don't because I know my government is, right? Also, science, was it one of the brothers? It was 2 brothers, James Watson, I forget the other dude name, when they was coming up with the whole triune, what they call it, quadroon, categorized, what they call it, little graph, right? That said that we were slower and stupid and less intelligent because we were black and had a certain type of cranial shape. That science was actual science. Now it has been proven to not be actual science. So we have to really take all this information with a grain of salt when they tell us a scientific fact, because science is going to forever be changing. So we can't say that this is what science says now forever. This is my opinion, because that's not what science is about. It's about understanding what we knew, testing it again, and then testing it again, et cetera, over and over again for eternity. That's what science is supposed to be, right? Third,
you agree with science?
I told you I take it with a grain of salt, but I do. Yeah, of course I agree with science. I went to school, had to pass it. It makes sense, but certain things don't make sense because they won't show us the proof of it. And when you get down to the nitty gritty of what science is telling us, even when the 4 foundational forces,
give us an example of what don't make sense in science.
All right. Okay, I got you. The 4 fundamental forces, right? When they get down to what it actually is, they say that they don't know. The most literal part is the equations they come up with to describe why our reality is what it is. But they don't know 100% absolute. So they're still figuring that's literally what science is supposed to do, right? But a lot of our people in our community don't understand. That's what I mean when I say science is different than what the elders say on certain panels, right? Because science is supposed to continuously change. Nothing, including the cells that make up your body, stays the same forever.
So do you take science over the Bible?
I put them together because science is proven.
No, if you had a chance, you got to only choose one. Which one would you choose to study, science or the Bible?
The Bible, because science is proving the truth, not the other way around.
Okay.
Let me ask him. Did science real quick? Did science bring you this cell phone, or did your Bible bring it to you?
Got him.
The technical knowledge is what technology is from, right? The technical knowledge of my people that look like me brung that about.
Using what? The Bible?
Using binary code. Using binary code.
Them AirPods you got in your ear, man.
Real quick, so can I respond to something he said before we get too far off of it?
Go ahead.
Okay, before we get too far off, I want to tell you something about that quote you said about the spear and stuff. Columbus didn't say that the people that gave it to him were the dark-skinned people. In that quote, he said that the people that gave it to him said that they got it from dark-skinned people that came from the West. And that guanine The word is guanine. It wasn't found to be of an origin of West Africa when they tested, or African continent, period.
I'm not saying
So,
it came from Africa. That's my whole point. I'm not saying it came from
but I'm
Africa.
saying you misquoting the whole thing, though. That's
I'm
what
not,
I'm just
because
saying.
what I'm saying is, if you look it up, just in general, just type it in. Did Christopher Columbus contact dark-skinned black people when he got here? It'll be like, yeah. Then it'll give you all the stuff.
No, it won't. I just
It
told
will,
you how
because
the actual record
I know you're
read.
saying that, but
It
you're not
doesn't
right.
say that.
You're not right though.
I'm telling you, I read over these records all the time. It tell you that the people that he
Everybody look up what I
made
say.
contact with. Yeah, please do. That he said the record
Can I
showed that he
chime
said
in?
that the people. I'm about to be done in like 5 seconds. The record showed that the people that he made contact with
That's
said
right.
that those people that gave it to them were black, not that the people he spoke with and got that story from was black. You mixing
I
it up.
said, yeah, okay. I see where your confusion is. I said that he got a spear from people that said they were black. That they got it from
Right,
black,
that they were black,
dark-skinned
but that's the
No,
part you
no,
mixing
not that
up.
they got it from. That's my fault. If you thought that, then I understand what the confusion is. But the fact is that they still said, just like he said and documented, that they got it from some people that look black. So they were already here. Regardless if you want to believe his account of what he was told, that's on you. But that's documented. Now we can go past that if you want, or we can still, because it don't make sense that you want to stay here and argue about that when
All
it
right.
literally states
So, brother,
that the document says that he got it from people
No,
that got it from
hold
people that
on,
look like
God energy. Hold on.
Go ahead.
All right. I want to bring on a sister who's the top scholar on YouTube when it comes to breaking down the Bible, making brothers run, making brothers tuck their tail, making brothers come up with excuses about I don't debate women. Easy Bears know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the best of the best when it comes to this Bible stuff. And I speak of none other than the First Lady, Nepal Shada, is in the building.
Ooh, that was a nice intro, honey. Thank you.
Yeah, what up, Nepal?
Peace to everybody. Peace, sa.neter. What's going on in here?
Peace. I gotta pay to get one like that, so I want one like that.
How much did you see, Nepal?
Well, I heard somebody talking about the Bible and science. So,
oh yeah, so that's, you missed everything then. That was just myself.
Yeah,
when I tuned in earlier, I was watching the brother. I think I met him, didn't I? The brother who
yeah, long time ago. He been here.
Long time ago. Yeah, that was great. It's just sad that a lot of our people don't want to acknowledge that there was definitely a transatlantic slave exploitation and the of human beings, our people. That's the part that makes me sad. But I did think that I should come in here though, because I did hear science in the Bible. That's my favorite topic. So I'm gonna sit back and see what's going on, if you don't mind.
All right, go ahead. Hey, who was saying get in? Who wanted to get in?
I have a question.
We got Genesis. Go ahead, Genesis.
Because I asked a
Can I
really
go
important
next,
question, and it kind of
yes.
It kind of got looked over. I said, okay, if you guys don't, say we didn't spread up out the ground in America, and then I showed the route, the actual routes from the Roman Empire, people fleeing down to the southern Sudan, across the Africa into Nigeria, and then there's also accounts of people coming over to America prior to the slave trade. I said, are we prone more to believe that okay, did we actually migrate the other way through China and through the Bering Strait, or did we actually have boats, and did we have a civilization that was able to build boats that were able to actually come across?
Both.
And then or ships, right? And so the other guy says, well, Mansa Musa, there's never no account of him actually making it over here, but there's also no real accounts of slave ships, because they'll say that they got ripped apart, or they melted and they disintegrated, whatever. You can't even prove that. And this was like the Mansa Musa story was way older than the slave trade. So,
but the people in the genetics are here.
Say it again.
I said, but the people in the genetics are here from the slave trade, even if you X out the boats.
Right, but there's a lot of people with Malian genetics. So
Right,
are we
but
to
that's
only
due
say
to
that
the
those
slave trade.
only due to that, or there could have been people that were here from Mali that
That's the
came over
question
with
she
the slave
asking.
trade? Because,
That's why I say
like
we
I
would
said, there
need a
was an
record of
entire
it actually, the people making it, or somebody
what
that
would
came
be
that we can attest.
if something is that old. I mean, there is no record of all this. I mean, some of this stuff is so old. Like, did they keep records back then about going over to? They said that there were stories
Yeah,
of it. And a lot of things were oral tradition. People didn't necessarily keep everything written down on like a papyrus or a record. So, but I think it's interesting that we bring up the Smithsonian and their source about what the slave trade was. But when it comes to a Malian emperor being able to have seafaring boats and come over, all of a sudden, well, it's not been proven, but yet you can't find a slave boat.
Burden of proof, equal it out.
But
We
it
have
is
found slave
remnants.
boats.
It is. I was just about to say it's called diving with a purpose. They have
Oh, hold
found
on, hold on,
boats,
hold
and
on.
they
I'm
have
about to present on that.
Hold on,
Hold on,
hold
Gambit.
on, real quick. Let me finish.
the
They
information.
got remnants of boats, pieces of boats, shackles from boats, and the stuff is documented.
Okay,
A
so
lot
I
of the
mean,
boats
so
were blown up and destroyed and made sure they got rid of, but they got
why?
accounts of
But
some boats.
so okay, so all right, so you're talking about a emperor that came like way before these. I mean, I think it was like I don't know exactly how long ago the Malian Abu Bakr came over, but I like would that
It was
if
in like
these
the
boats
early 1300s, real early 1300s,
right?
when they had
So
a
would
count of
you
them
say that
selling out.
if these boats are like hard to find, don't you think it's equally be hard to find for a boat that's old that could have
Yeah,
like
but I agree with you on the boat part. But I'm talking about you got the genetics though. It's no presence of African genetics on the continent from the 1300s. When you
how can you
track the
prove? Can you
when
prove
when
that? Can
they
you prove that?
look when they test the genetics of the indigenous people, you don't find no admixture with those people. You don't find none of that stuff where you could track a presence prior to the 1526 that would be in America, and I don't even think they can track
How can
those
you
people
track
genetically
genetics
yet.
when genetic tracking didn't even start until like it wasn't even existing back then? Like so say if you have people that were ancient, were older, like from the
Right, but
1300s,
we track
where is the
genetics from
genetic
over a
testing?
million. But wait, we track people from over 1 million years ago now, and we
No,
didn't have that technology
they
then.
can
So
they
that'll be
really
kind of crazy to say
they
that one.
technically cannot. They only can track up to 300,000 years. That is a fact.
That's just for
And,
Homo sapien. They can trace back
Ooh.
before Homo sapien.
Can I just get I want to catch up. So are you arguing that there weren't any slave ships? I might be
what I'm
really
arguing
wrong.
is that there were people that came from Africa to America prior to Columbus. They're saying is that they were already here, and I'm like, okay, well, how did they come over the Bering Strait like they say that the Indians did? Were those the people, or were the people that actually had seafaring ships that came? Because you have Jamaicans that say they came from Africa. So how did they come from Africa? Only by
Slave ship.
slave trade? No, there
Slave
was
ship
people. They
mostly.
said there was people already there in Jamaica. So they say
You
that they're
guys,
from
Um,
I would.
Africa. So how
Can
did they
you
if they
give
come
us
from
an
Africa?
account on the? Can you give us an account on the Jamaicans that was here, where they attested with a year, so we can at least try to track
I
how
think that
soon you were saying
majority
they was here?
people that even the Christopher Columbus didn't he land in the Caribbean?
Yeah, they landed in
Yeah.
Haiti in
Okay, Haiti.
in
Okay, so all right, so
1492.
Haiti
in Haiti, right? So all
near
right, so
Hispaniola. Yeah,
most of those people will
there
say
were
that
no
they're from
Africans
Africa.
there. No, there
That,
was no
Right.
Africans there.
didn't they
And
say
there
that
was
they
Until
there
went
was
to Africa?
1502.
Taino.
The first
Yeah.
it was I-80 name at the time, I-80, Hispaniola. And then in 1502 is the first account you get of a documented African there. There's no
So hold on, hold on.
documentation for none of the other stuff.
So weren't there people that?
Can I speak?
So
Because
isn't there
I
accounts
wanna
of him
share my
saying that
screen. I got the
he met
information that they're
black
talking
people
about.
there?
I
Though
can show the source.
I'm confused.
No, I just
I can
cleared that
show the
up.
Well,
source that
where
got
did
that.
he meet
He's
people at
Hold on.
then? Where did he meet the people of color at where they were
no,
actually?
listen. He met the indigenous population who told him that some black people that might have came from the West gave them the gold tip spears that they then gave to him
It's not a
that they
claim. That's true.
tested.
So were those
According to
indigenous
No, all
black
that's
or were
fact.
they like those
We
Chinese
don't
It
we
was
that
don't
came
even know
indigenous.
if those
Yeah.
look
across the
honestly,
Bering
we don't
Strait?
look honestly, we don't even know if those people that they calling the dark skinned people, if they was like a darker indigenous group from farther west than them. We don't know because they
Fact.
don't actually identify what land those people came from. They just say they came from the west. That was
So
it.
is there
It
any
says Puerto Rico.
DNA evidence that, because we are talking about DNA, so are there any DNA evidence of those skulls and who and what their haplogroup was?
Yes.
What skulls?
The people that
But there's no
Christopher
DNA.
Columbus encountered.
Yes, they were natives.
Yeah, those
What is a
indigenous
native?
populations are
What
the
is a
listen,
native?
Natives
listen.
There's no
Those
DNA at that time.
those
Right there.
those indigenous populations, they trace those people back to the Lucia woman.
Can I speak
They
now?
genetically
Please?
track those people to the Lucia woman.
Hold on. 7 aside. Let's get it.
Share my screen, please, sa.neter.
Your screen is being shared.
You see it? Okay. See, I wanted to give the information for the to counter the misinformation we was given, and specifically with these slave ships. And I put together a couple of facts that people can research and get all that misinformation out their head. And right here we have the existence of slave ships during the Atlantic slave trade is verified by a vast international body of empirical primary sources. These original documents were created as a standard administrative, legal, and financial records by the participants of the trade, including governments, merchants, and captains. Because the slave trade operated as a highly integrated international commercial market, a single voyage frequently generated independent records across multiple countries, creating a self-verifying historical web. So there's so much information about the slave trade. It's overwhelming, right? The official government customs and port records to regulate commerce and collect. This was to regulate commerce and to collect taxes. Port authorities required standardized documentation for every arriving and departing ship. So we have these documents to prove that there were slave ships, right, with the taxes and the port authorities. You had the inward and outward manifests. National archives contain thousands of official manifests. For example, the U.S. National Archives hold hundreds of pre-printed government certified fill-in-the-blank forms detailing ship names, captains, ports of departure, and descriptions of human cargo by name, age, and sex. The Transatlantic Slave Trade Database. This opens access digital projects hosted by institutions like Harvard and Emory, aggregates data from over 36,000 distinct slave voyages between 1520 and 1866. It compiles independent port logs, tat registries, and custom clearances from British, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and the Dutch National Archives, right? Commercial, excuse me. Fight with this thing. Because I'm over here swinging. The commercial, financial, and maritime records. The transatlantic slave trade was heavily bureaucratized. Private companies left extensive paper trails documenting the logistics of their shipping assets, right? Merchant shipping logs. Academic libraries such as the UC Berkeley Library, Guide on Slavery, preserve original business logs, contracts, and manifests. Notable collections, including the records of the Campaign des Indies and the Tarleton family paper from Liverpool. Insurance claims and court records. Ships that expired, rebellious disease, outbreaks, or shipwrecks generated extensive legal files underwriting the Lloyds of, I'm almost finished, about to close, land my plane pretty soon. London hold historical insurance registries that list the dimensions, hull sheathing, and cargo capacity of these specific vessels. Medical and first-hand accounts. Individuals aboard these ships documented the physical layouts and operation procedures of the vessels. Surgeon journals. Alexander Falconbridge, a naval surgeon who served on multiple British slave vessels, published detailed objective descriptions of the cargo holds, partitioning bulkheads, and the specific methods used to pack captives below deck. His accounts are preserved in collections like the North Carolina Anchor Primary Source Database. Here is the forensic and physical material evidence. In addition to the paper trail, maritime archaeology has successfully located, excavated, and scientifically analyzed the physical hulls of these documented vessels. Here's some shipwrecks. The sister was asking where was the ships. They found the Cotilda and they found the Sao Jose Paquete, Africa, right? Location, mobile Mobile River, Alabama was where the Cotilda was found, and the other one was found in Cape Town, South Africa. The Cotilda was found intact in Asiatic mud, physical evidence matching the exact 1859 New York Maritime Register dimensions. Excavations by Search Incorporated and the Alabama Historical Commission's documented custom copper hull sheathing used for transatlantic voyages. Hand smiting iron components, forensic evidence of burning, and modified lower deck holding pins. And the Cape Town, Africa, found alongside iron ballistic blocks used to balance the weight of human cargo, copper shackles, and the remnants of the ship's rigging during correcting with Portuguese Archives Manifest from 1794. So we see that there is overwhelming evidence of not only slave trades, right, but also of the transatlantic slave trade.
All right. Thank you, brother. I want to say real quick, hold on to Paul. I'm going to let you go right now. Real quick, I have, let me see. Let me see. All right. Close to 4 hours, y'all. I received $5 in my Cash App as a donation. Thank you for the $5. That came from Dead Black. Thank you, Dead Black, for finding it important to donate to your brother so I could keep this show going, keep these shows going. Thank you to you, Dead Black. And Dead Black, I want you to know I always see you in there. So don't think I don't notice it. You always showing love and support. So thank you for the $5 you supported me with, brother. Appreciate that. I made $5 tonight, y'all. $5 tonight, y'all.
You made $1.25 an hour.
Tomorrow, yeah, $1.25 an hour. Tomorrow, hopefully it'll be a little better. Nepal, I want you to go ahead and read the chat. The Cash App.
The super chat, you mean?
Yeah, the super chats.
I don't see them. Dang, are they there?
You gotta hit the star. It's 13.
Oh, star. Thank you. Okay, so we have. Thank you. We have Philly.
I'm gonna tell you something. Do not hit. Let me see. One.
I know which one you're talking about. I was here.
No, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't read the fifth one.
The one that you said it's disrespectful?
No, not that one. That's the second one. That's the blue one.
Okay, I got Philly.
See who the other one is? Read the fifth one to yourself, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, let me get through this one, and I'll go one at a time. I didn't summer jam this one yet, so this one is from Philly. I'll look. I got you. Philly, Rome, Africa, finest. Thank you for your $20 super chat. Peace to you, brother Sa, and the good brother Flowing. All right, thank you.
Don't read the second one. Skip that, the blue one.
Okay, I will skip that one. Definitely, I know that's the one you're talking about, right?
Let me put it up and you read them.
I got you. Okay, so we have Kev from St. Louis, 314 with the $10. Thank you for that. He says the real question about all of this stuff: do people believe in what has been written? Science, history, religion, all of it. Thank you for that. And the last one is from...
That's not the last one. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Brother Ray, 51, $10 super chat. Thank you. Library of Congress cataloging in publication data encyclopedia of American Indian history. We have Bruce E. Johansson, Barry M. Fitzker, PCM includes bibliographical references and index a must read. Wow. Okay. Thank you. And we have our brother Pastor Amin Ra McCarthy. He puts a $20 super chat. And he says the HOK respects all knowledge from all walks of life. Thank you, sa.neter, for allowing us all to have a voice. Thank you, Pastor. Okay, yeah, I see that. All right, got you. And then we have the green one. It says, this is from Open to Knowledge. Thank you for the $5. He says, Uncle Sa, appreciate you Wild Indian Gang. Why nobody came up after I showed sources for an hour? It's crazy. Unc, Hope all is well with you and family. And we have Tenaki 1614 with a $20 super chat. Thank you. He says HOK prides itself on sources. It's not disrespectful to ask for them. Thank you. And again, we have Kev from St. Louis. He says with the $5 super chat, told you, Saw, it's about what was written. And once you find out the people who wrote history are liars, then what? And then we have Jersey State Bullies. Thank you for your $5 super chat. D, how do you teach with no sources? How do you teach with no sources, my brother? How do you teach with no sources, my brother? Jersey State Bullies gives us another $10 super chat, and he says, did he say Dane Calloway? Laugh my butt off. He's been debunked thoroughly on this platform, courtesy of Brother Jabari, Brother Ankh, and others destroyed him. Okay, so, and then we have Oxabir with the $5 super chat. He says, DNA is a comparative analysis. It proves nothing. Oh, wow, okay. Thank you.
It proves nothing. Crazy.
Thank you for that. Anthony Richardson, thank you for your $2 super chat. He says, this brother looks like he's from the Congo. DJ Genesis gave us a $5 super chat. Thank you, DJ Genesis. Thank you. Thanks for all you do. Wish I could do more. Wish I could give more. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you, Genesis. All right. Okay. So
read the comment under Amon Ra McCarthy. Don't read it out loud though. Read that.
The one I just read?
No, don't. We ain't show that one. The one under Amon Ra McCarthy.
Oh, under. Yeah.
Don't read it out loud. Just look at it.
I will.
To be into something with homeboy.
Oh, I didn't read it yet. I'm going to read it, and I did want to make a comment after this about what wow. Well, I read that. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what the guy has done. I don't want to comment on this on air. So
on that. All right.
Okay.
Let's go. Go ahead, Nepal. You got the mic.
So it was that again, the whole thing about discounting or trying to say that the slave trade didn't take place. So I appreciate sa.neter putting that information out, which is readily available. Don't forget, we had Dr. David Eltis on this channel interviewing him, everybody. So those records that have been compiled on Slave Voyage's website by Dr. Eltis and others in cooperation with Harvard, like you heard Seven say, those records are readily available that there is a slave trade, unfortunately. Tens of thousands of records. It was a business, and it was a very lucrative business, and that's why we deserve reparations, because billions of dollars were made off of the slave trade.
Nepal, can I just tell you, I just want sa.neter to know I just sent them some money.
When I say billions, I mean compared to what it was in the past.
I just sent you 25.
Right, I'm saying.
Zelle.
Okay, thanks, brother.
Yes, sir.
I heard the ring.
Sorry, Nepal. I just wanted y'all to hear that. I did.
It's fine. I was just agreeing with the information, because why do you have to take away the slave trade to say that you're Native American? I don't get it. Like, why do our people who we are lost because we've been disconnected from everything that was in Africa, why do you have to take away? Why do you attack the slave trade? I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, why does it have to not exist so you can prove that you're Native American? That's a serious question. Can anybody that claims to be Native American answer that?
No, but let me ask my man Easy Bands. I got you, Nepal, but Easy Bands? No, let me ask you, Nepal. First of all, Easy Bands is not no goddamn what they call that in the chat? Clout chaser. I'm not a clout chaser, but what they said, what they accuse you of? Yeah, Easy Band's not no damn troll. He coming for real and do what he do. He don't play games. But anyway, let me ask you, Nepal, will you debate easy bands because you're becoming up and coming, formidable opponent when it comes to the Bible? I ain't gonna spank him like your son, but I'm just saying, will you debate him?
I've had discussions with our brother Easy Bands,
and I got the topic.
What is the topic?
Same one you took on Christina Nick.
Oh gosh, yeah, I can't even.
You got him.
Easy Band doesn't know anything, just like Christina didn't know.
That's why I said you got him. But knowing Easy Bands, he will take the topic.
I don't know. It's up to him. I really, that topic is hard for people to swallow. Like Jesus is a serpent.
Easy Band to me is a formidable opponent. He believes in the Bible 100%, just like you, Nepal. And I think that'll be a hell of a good debate. That's one that I don't think is afraid of you.
No, he's not afraid. But I mean,
I know you're spank him, but I know you'll beat him bad. And I said bad. But,
I mean, I'm just now in a peaceful space with him. That's why I'm hesitant. Like, I don't want to, you know what I mean? I would like to drag somebody that I would enjoy dragging, like Kassad.
Oh yeah, Kassad. Yeah.
That would be
what about Harwin? Can you debate Harwin?
Well, Harwin agrees with a lot of stuff I teach.
Oh, okay.
Harwin agrees with me about a lot.
No, brother, I won't be doing another show. Nepal might be.
Yeah, we're gonna do a show.
Nepal did 3 shows last night. Word, man.
Yeah, Genesis helped me. We're gonna do another one tonight. Yeah. Oh, I want to put this out here. Let me throw this out here for everybody. We're gonna start talking about Yahweh again, Yahweh. We're gonna get back to getting to the root of I say Jesus is a serpent, but before Jesus was a serpent, obviously we can see the correlations to Yahweh being a serpent as well. Don't play with me.
Are you still debating Jabari?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay, there we go. Good.
You fall back off of Easy Bands because your hands is full with this one, Nepal. I know you're going to pull it out and beat Jabari. I think this is Jabari's first loss ever. And so
that's right, baby. Keep that love for me.
You're gonna beat Jabari in this topic right here.
I'm gonna have to beat my brother, the sa.neter Tepi. He is a titan. Listen, when I saw Jabari on the road, when we took it on the road and he was beating up those people at the Sean Kelly podcast.
Yeah,
let me tell you,
those was fun.
I got on another level. I've always seen Jabari shine, but he was killing them. It was like a giant in the room just crushing ants. I was like, oh my gosh, Jabari, you are outstanding. But you're wrong about the historicity of Christ. But yeah, I would like to do that. That's going to be good.
Jabari, this where your downfall come, brother.
Yeah, that's cool. Peace to everybody, though. But yeah, Jesus there is a historical Jesus, and according to the scripture, in metaphysical sense, Christ is symbolic of the serpent is representing Christ. I love saying that because we're going to have to break these programs that the serpents are evil. But who told you that?
Let me say this. When Jabari right now is going on the Happy conference in Chicago. So he will be going on. Today is Wednesday? Oh, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Today, Tuesday. He'll be leaving tomorrow. He'll be back before Sunday. So that's when him and Nepal will get it in and come up with a date, probably the first week of next month. And so let me get man God Energy in the building. I wanted to get God Energy. He tried to speak before. God Energy, what up, man?
Oh, peace, y'all. Yeah, I wanted to chime in that it wasn't just Christopher Columbus that mentioned or alluded to dark skin or black peoples in the Americas. Actually, over 10 of the early conquistadors and colonists that came over with him, over 10 of them said that there was black peoples or black Native Americans here. They even pointed out how the red Native Americans had black Native Americans held captive. So it's no doubt that there was melanated individuals here. We are not descended from those people, though, right? Those dark Native Americans that they're referencing are people close to Polynesians and Melanesian descent. So there was melanated people here, but we are not the same demographic and lineage as those peoples. You know what I mean? It wasn't just Christopher Columbus. Over 10 early colonizers said that there was dark skin or black skinned peoples here. So that's documented. The confusion is trying to connect us, our lineage, to those peoples, and that's where the mistake is.
Can I add on to that real quick?
Yeah,
I'm gonna be real quick
because I got
the people. People I'm familiar with you talking about God energy, because in those records they tell you that those people phenotypically resemble mostly to the Oriental people over in Asia. So they make a distinguish from those people, even though they dark skinned. They tell you that they look like Asian in those records. That's it.
All right.
But
Anyway,
South Americans can look Asian too. I mean, South Africans can look Asian as well, though.
all right. I want to say thank you to everybody. I got the roll, man. I got the roll. But thank y'all to everybody. See y'all tomorrow, man. Hopefully I get
All right, but they give the location for the phenotype over in Asia, so it wasn't just that they look Asian. They gave the actual area that they say they resemble the people of.
All right. And
Hey,
with
Nepal,
that,
don't leave. I gotta tell you something.
All righty. So we've established that there was an African slave trade. Okay, great show.
peace. We out, y'all.
Hey, peace out. Hey, I'm gonna call you, sir.
All right. Yeah.
Infamous. Yeah. House of Consciousness. Salute the architect, brother sa.neter. If knowledge got a home, you know where it's at. Let's go! Let's go.
King of consciousness.
Put respect on the name, built the platform for the culture.
Change the whole game.
Different views, different paths.
Everybody got a lane.
When it's time to build the people,
sa.neter leads the way. King of consciousness.
We appreciate the work, gave a voice to the unheard.
Put the teachings first.
From the elders to the youth,
helping all of us learn.
House of Consciousness forever.
Watch the wisdom return.
Before the algorithms, before the trends and hype, he was putting scholars on and bringing truth to light. Opened up the microphone, let the people speak. 7 days a week, dropping jewels for the streets. He gave a host of worldwide fans with diverse minds, from Professor Small to Brother Easy Band. Zion Lex on the screen, bringing knowledge and facts. Brother Reggie in the building, always ready to rap. Punk West brought scientific concepts with a different perspective, making viewers think deeper, asking critical questions. Pastor Bennett with the scriptures, bringing faith to the table. Captain Taz debating, always willing and able. Nat Paul teaching lessons, giving people direction. Shaka bringing knowledge and aggression. But the Jabari dropping African history, building a stronger connection. The list goes on.
That's a fact.
No exaggeration.
He helped introduce great minds
to an entire generation.
King of consciousness.
Put respect on the name.
Built the platform for the culture. Changed the whole game.
Different views, different paths.
Everybody got a lane.
When it's time to build the people,
sa.neter lead the way. King of consciousness.
We appreciate the work.
Gave a voice to the unheard.
Put the teachers first. From the elders to the youth,
helping all of us learn.
House of Consciousness forever.
Watch the wisdom return.
Some got big followings, some became a star, some were neighborhood legends, some were known from afar, some were elders with wisdom that the youth never knew. Without this platform, many names would have slipped through. He gave space to the Christians, gave space to the Comedics, Hebrew Israelites, atheists and academics, Pan-African voices, revolutionaries too. Different ideologies, but everybody came through. That's the beauty of the mission, that's the reason it survived. You ain't gotta agree to have a seat and go live. Economic liberation, mental freedom in the air, teaching self-determination, putting black power everywhere.
Some came for the debates, some came for the history, some came for the culture, some came for the mystery.
But everybody learned something.
Hey.
Everybody got a chance.
How
House of Consciousness.
Help the people lead faith.
Yeah, what? Whether conscious or religious, whether skeptic or believer, whether scholar or beginner, whether teacher or achiever, he gave room for the dialogue, room for growth and reflection, room for disagreement without destroying our connection. That's rare today in a world full of division. Everybody wants an echo if you tackle the real mission. So salute the contribution, salute the decades invested building the greatest archive the community's ever been blessed with. Many channels came later, many platforms took notes,
but the House of Consciousness
keeps the movement afloat.
King of Consciousness.
Put respect on the name.
Built a platform for the culture, changed the whole game.
Different views, different paths.
Everybody got a lane.
When it's time to build the people,
sa.neter lead the way. King of Consciousness.
We appreciate the work.
Gave a voice to the unheard.
Put the teachers first. From the elders to the youth,
he helped all of us learn.
House of Consciousness forever.
Let the wisdom return.
House of Consciousness. A place where ideas meet. A place where voices grow. Salute, brother. From your brother, the infamous
DMG.
Let's go.